The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
Morning, I think. You never know until you start talking. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Carmichael Dave.
Hey, there we go. Everything sound okay?
Yeah, for some reason you're in Spanish today.
Ah, see. Remember that one, what was it? There was back in the, was it 80s or 90s where the whole...
Go back to the 90s.
The whole hook for buying the Learn Spanish cassette tapes was how easy it was because they did SOCKS.
Yes.
What happened to that?
It's in the sock drawer.
SOCKS. Which I don't even remember what that means now. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
SOCKS, any clue?
No idea.
Yeah.
But you know what, Dave? He may have a clue after tonight.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know.
No, you're just like shoehorning that in.
I am shoehorning that in. I'm really curious as to what Chris is doing tonight. I think you should be equally curious.
I am. There's literally nothing in the world at this point I am more curious about now than what Chris Verlotta is doing tonight.
Chris?
I'm going to an event called the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy.
Dave, your thoughts?
Okay, look. This is tough because every bone in my look, any chance to drag Chris is always a blast. But also I mean, okay, hold on. Like give us a brief, like what's the log line here? What's the brief description of what a Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy is?
So the event, it says that they will have performances of several of Edgar Allan Poe's stories, and you will have a cocktail that goes along with that story.
Okay, so they'll have like a Raven cocktail, a Telltale Heart cocktail, whatever cocktail.
Yes.
Look at you knowing your Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, that's a flex. There is like, if that's something my wife, well, first off, it involves drinking. I'm not a drinking guy, but if I did,
they have mocktails.
Okay.
That type of thing.
If my wife was like, hey, I want to go do this tonight, I'd be like, okay. No, excuse me. That's a lie. I would very fakely say, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Let's go. It's going to be a blast. Because, of course, if I say the other thing, then all night it's like, you hate this. You don't even like it, no matter what happens. But if I was a young, single, handsome man like Chris, ready to mingle and get out on the town and all that, I mean, I could think of worse things like, I don't know, an escape room.
Oh, you don't like escape rooms?
I hate escape rooms.
Did you not escape?
Are
you trapped in your room right now? Let us know. Knock 3 times.
Okay, that's all. We're gonna get to that in a second. There's a whole Donahue happening here in my house. No, I hate escape rooms because the whole point is to get out of the room. How about just don't go into the room? And then I've got
escape.
Yeah, exactly. And I got some 17-year-old who's like, oh, hey, maybe if you press the button, I don't know. Well, would you give us a full report tomorrow, Chris?
Sure.
Absolutely. Will people be reading from and performing it? Is that what it said?
I have no idea.
I just feel like there's going to be a lot of awkward there.
Maybe.
It's going to be a lot.
Which would be fun.
Chris relishes in that.
Well, for sure. Chris lives in the awkward moments, most of which he creates himself.
Look where you are right now.
Right here. So
Oh, it's funny that you also talk about escape rooms. There's been talk that Boise trip I'm going on. Someone found a Titanic escape room that we might that we might be doing.
That was almost a spit take all over.
I want to see.
So
it was. Wow.
So the Titanic escape room, is that thing like no matter what, there's no escape?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, wait, they're going to drown us? What's happening?
The room sinks.
Like they didn't escape is the point, I guess.
Or are we the people like, hey, I don't have a good idea about this. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, he's just all going to be hanging off a board, feet dangling in the ocean. See you later, Jack. There's room on the board, but you're out of here. Well, that's interesting. I like what Chris is doing here. Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy, followed up by a trip to Boise. Hi.
Titanic escape room.
We're in Boise. Let's head over to the Titanic escape room. You don't even need to make potato jokes. I was on my way home last night from my son's doing this like soccer thing. It's a pretty good gig the coach has. It's $20 a kid. It's supposed to be from 5 to 6 p.m. So you get there. It's at a park. I get there at 6 p.m. because you don't want your kid in the dark waiting for you. They finally finished at 6:43. So I got to kind of like say something today if that happens again. Like, hey, man, look. And he's a good guy.
So you're saying this to all his coaches now. You're that dad.
Well, no, this is his same coach.
Oh,
yeah, it's his
basketball.
Same basketball coach, and this is like the beginning of their like spring summer camps, right? Which
I thought you said soccer.
No, I'm sorry if I did. No, basketball.
Okay. Got it. Makes sense.
Same guy.
Okay.
Really good guy. Just has no concept of time whatsoever.
Okay.
And I don't think he has kids either, so it's like you also don't have that thing where it's like, guys, we're on a real tight schedule. I don't care if it goes 2 hours. Good, we're paying for it, but like, just tell me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be playing a royal match in the car for 43 minutes while I'm waiting for my son. So
25.
You kind of.
I mean, a little bit. It is my alone time, but on the way back, and I look down at the phone. It's ringing. The phone is ringing, and it's baby mom's on the caller ID because that's how I refer to my wife. And I pick it up, and Jason, you guys both know Melissa a little bit. Like, she's not one for dramatics. She's very deadpan. And I pick it up, and I hear screaming from my daughter in the background. And my wife is yelling at my daughter, get out of there, get out of there, get out of now. Like, legitimately,
wow,
I'm freaking out all of a sudden. Like, I'm driving, I hear this, and I'm thinking everything. I'm thinking, oh my God, is there an intruder?
That's what I would think.
What do I'm helpless on the road here. So I'm like, Melissa, what is going on? She finally, and thank God quickly, she goes, there's a bat in the house. And I go, my first response was, no, there's not. Like maybe you mistook a giant beetle or something. I don't know. She sends me a picture. It's a bat in our house. There's a bat in our house. A bat. So they're running around through everything. Now I'm like 25 minutes from the house.
So you send up the bat signal?
Let me throw this out there real quick because I've had over 12 hours of this now because I put it on social media. Any bat signal joke, Manu Ginobili joke, the Spurs are coming to town joke, I got them. Like, they've all been made. And yes to all of that. So what my wife is doing while she's on the phone with me, because that's all I could do is just be on the phone with her, is she's like kind of a SWAT team going through each room in the house because she can't see the bat now. It somehow flew away in the flurry of everything. So the doors are all opened, and she's going room to room, basically clearing, like going into the bedroom, clear. All right, bathroom, clear. And she's kind of freaking out, which I don't blame her because she's kind of opening a door. She's like, oh my God. Okay, it's not there. So I come home, I finally get home, and she's like, I think the bat's gone. We haven't seen it. I'm 99% sure the bat's not here. But all night long, we're kind of just looking around the house like, because a bat's not going to be like, hi, I'm a bat. Like, it's just going to chill and bat. So we're kind of looking around in corners and stuff. Because here's the thing about the bat, man. It could be anywhere. It could be in the closet. It could be behind a TV. It could be anywhere. And then I look up like, well, okay, if you even have a bat in your house, do you have to get rabies shots? Like, what's the rule here about rabies? And I look up, and the good news is this, guys. So here's some bat and rabies knowledge for you this morning. They say less than 1% of bats actually have rabies, right? So, and you have to basically, like, if you get scratched, bitten, or any contact, because it can be spread through a mucous membrane, your nose, you wipe your nose, whatever, the rabies can spread. But the good news is there's 99% chance the bat doesn't have it. Here's the problem. And be honest, guys, if you knew this, because I didn't. So, do you guys know, once you get rabies, if you do get rabies, and let's say you didn't know, but maybe like you start getting a couple symptoms, you go to the doctor, they give you the vaccine and all, because they do
late.
Yeah, like, did you know that the survival rate for rabies is less than 1%?
Yeah,
like, you're dead straight up.
As soon as you get symptoms,
as soon as you get symptoms, it's over. Like, it's over. As soon as you get symptoms, dude. And it is, and by the way, from what I read, and by the way, if somebody out there's lost a loved one to rabies, I'm not trying to make fun of this. I'm legit freaked out about it. Like, the death from rabies, not a good one. Not a pleasant death. It's a slow march to holy crap. So that's why Ginobili, like, had to get the rabies shots, man, because if there was a chance he had it, you got to get the shot, or that's it. You're not going on the injured list for a while. You're going on the injured list forever. So to wrap this thing up, or should I say to be continued, and hi, yes, I'm the same guy that had a rat in the house for like 2 months a few years ago. This is scarily similar to that, except the rat, say what you want about the rats, squeakles, as we called them. It's not going to kill you. And my kids are also heavy sleepers. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, is a bat going to like land on Mason's face while he's sleeping? And then we don't even know anything until, oh, hey, he's got this weird sneeze. Oh my God, my son has rabies. Like, this is the stuff rolling through my head. So I go in our downstairs bathroom this morning to, do what you do in the morning in the downstairs bathroom. And as I'm getting ready, much like a dog getting ready to fall asleep and turning around 3 times, that's what I do. I look up. No, I don't see the bat, but I am scanning. I am in scan mode right now. And I don't know how this happened, and I don't see the grate or anything like that. But what I do see is on the ceiling just inside my bathroom door, the vent has fallen off of my ceiling duct that's in there for the AC or whatever. I'm holding my phone up right now. You guys will see it in a second. And there is just this giant duct exposed in my bathroom. Now, I found this out about 10 minutes ago, right before the show started. And I don't know what to do. Well, obviously, I have to get it replaced. I'll call American Energy Heating and Air. But I now have a theory as to how Bat got in and perhaps how Bat got out, or is at least hiding. So we're on rabies watch here at the house, guys.
Wow. So you're not, Melissa definitely thinks the bat is out, but you don't have confirmation.
I 100% do not have confirmation. Also, don't know how I would get confirmation on that. That's the problem. Like
I guess you would see that it was still in. Yeah, that's the only way you would know.
The only way I would know is if the bat is here and I see the bat. And I
you called like, for it?
Have I been like, here, Betty?
No, you have to do like the bat, like.
Oh, that's the bat? How did you call Squeakles? So you've had a bat and a rat, now you need a cat.
Dude, Squeakles just was, remember, that was a whole thing, like, where there were 2 and one got caught in a trap, and I found it at 3 a.m. when I came downstairs, and it looked like a murder scene in my kitchen. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. By the way, as we go to break, I'm holding up a picture my wife took of the bat. So there is actual proof of the bat. The bat is actually upside down, apparently. It looks like a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's upside down. We figured out, and that's like its bat tail or something. Like, I don't know. Is it? And that's what I need to know. I am gonna call like a bat. I don't even know. Is there like a bat place? Because can they like bring sonar out here that will like drive the bat crazy? Well, not crazy, but I want them to come into my house in like those ET outfits that the government wore, where they're all zipped up, and I want them to sonar the bat out of here, or to make sure the bat doesn't exist anymore. Because pretty much now I'm worried, and honest to God, guys, this is the decision I got to kind of make today. Do we just all roll and get rabies shots? You know what I'm saying? And which, by the way, from what I hear, is not a pleasant experience.
Good question on the chat. Where were Gus and Nacho and all this?
Apparently, they were just completely oblivious. Like, the bat didn't do anything.
Well, they already have their rabies shot, so they don't.
Yeah,
care.
that's exactly right. As a matter of fact, the article I read said it was dogs that actually pass rabies to you more than bats do in America, right?
Fine.
If they're not rabied, if they're not, whatever. Anyways, Dwayne says, sounds like Dave is setting up to work from home permanently. No, this actually encourages me to really not want to work from home where there's rabies. But as father, husband, dad, that whole thing, like, I have a job to do here, and I don't know what the hell to do.
Flee.
Right. Like, do we burn the house down? Do we move?
Logic.
Yeah. Anyways. All right. So that's what's going on right now, guys.
Yikes.
It's Bat Thursday.
Yeah, I did that game with Ginobili. That was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
He just grabbed the bat?
Yeah, when he just turned. I mean, and the whole scene of NBA players running away, which I don't blame him. I didn't want that thing anywhere near me. That was really a bizarre night. And I think I've done 2 games in San Antonio. And both times there were bats involved.
Yeah, and like, aren't you kind of constant? Aren't you a little more alert that night?
Yes.
Yeah. It's in my house.
Yeah.
Perhaps. All right, we'll take a break. We got a big show for you today. And by the way, there may be a bat. Honestly, there's like a 50-50 shot I'm doing the show, and all of a sudden you see me attacked. Like, I could be doing the show, and somebody looks behind me, and there's like a bat on my king sign. And
I mean, that would do numbers.
Exactly. I was going to say, if the bat has any sense of, courtesy, 6 to 10 bat, make sure you're in frame and in focus and all that.
Yeah, we want that to happen during the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't do us any good if it's 10:30 and Styles and Watkins are on, and then the bat. Let me know on the chat line if you would. If you see a bat in the background, give me a heads up. It'd probably be a little bit too late, but if you want to see a grown man scream like a child, and I think you probably do. Stay tuned. We've also got Kelly Brothers at 7:30. Sam Amick joins us at 8 a.m. And we've got a Kings victory to talk about, everybody. It's Dave, it's Jason, it's Christopher Lott, it's the Bat. We'll lead everything off next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support could be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Minute 37 and counting. Here comes Fox, the floater. He's got the bucket. He's tied his career high. 44 points for De'Aaron Fox. Just an amazing performance tonight in Los Angeles. Spin move, Reeves inside, skips the pass outside.
Welp. The Sacramento Kings won a basketball game last night in Los Angeles. Did not start well. Did not start well at all. What were the Kings down? Was it 17 at one point, Jason?
19, 37 to 18.
19. They end up winning by 10. Had at least double that lead at one point. So you're looking at at times there a 40-point turnaround. Domantas Sabonis goes to 9-0 against Anthony Davis. We'll talk about that later. Despite 29 from Rui Hachimura and 31 from the ageless LeBron James, didn't matter. 44 points for De'Aaron Fox, a triple-double for Sabonis, 26 for Malik Monk off the bench. We have a lot to talk about on this one, Jason, including today the fact that the way this season is going, this was a predicted win by a large contingent of the Sacramento Kings fan base. This is the most predictably, is it predictably unpredictable or unpredictably predictable? I think it's predictably unpredictable team I've ever seen in my life.
It's up there. I mean, I don't have any other references to say, to the contrary, but I like this version. And, I was thinking about this yesterday. I don't know if we can really do this. I think it's probably impossible mentally. But if we really took each game like it's game 1 of the season, so like if the Bulls game, we'd be disappointed, but it would have been, they're 0-1. It's the beginning of the year. No big deal. We'd be upset by the loss, but it's not. And then last night, if that's a fresh night, new start, it doesn't matter what happened the other game, or we don't even know of any other games, and you win that game, you're like, all right, I like the way this team looks, but it's really not a way we look at things in reality.
Nope. But we'll take it. We'll take the win all day long. Nothing wrong with beating the Lakers.
There's a lot right with that.
There's just a ton right with that, Jason. And, of course, we will speak on that all day long. Meanwhile, cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Here is on the right wing. Branham gets to Wembanyama, 3-point range. One dribble for rhythm, launches and scores the 3. It's 105-103. Wembanyama hits his first triple in 4 attempts. He's got 16 points to go with 11 rebounds.
Well, Victor Wembanyama's out. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Average to below average to lowly team is coming in. First game back from a road game at Golden One Center, and their best player is missing. My goodness, Jason, what could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Yeah. And so just like I think that contingent, and I put myself in that group of Kings fans, were pretty confident about a win last night, in part based on their loss to the Bulls. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say I think they're going to lose to the Spurs tomorrow. I believe they will beat the Spurs. I believe fairly strongly that they will beat the Spurs. But it's certainly open to it's certainly in my head that they may, in fact, not beat the San Antonio Spurs. And by the way, I said tomorrow, I meant tonight, 7 o'clock right here. So here we are once again.
Yeah, early on in the season, they had those benchmarks like that they couldn't break, where they couldn't win the second night of a back-to-back, or there was just a couple things that they weren't able to check off the list, and then they finally did. This hasn't been an entire season of this, but I feel like lately they have had so many of these landmark road wins and come home and just laid an egg. So, at some point that's got to stop, and tonight is a perfect setup for it to stop. Unfortunately, Dave, it's also a perfect setup for a potential Walodi.
Yeah, and I think this would compete with Detroit for the Waloti. It would compete heavily with Detroit for the Waloti. A lot of that later. We got to move real quick. Chris, don't bother playing a sound effect. Just hit cut number 3, please, because we have breaking news. Cut number? Yeah, whatever that was.
I didn't know if that was cut 3 or your breaking news.
That's curveball. My bad. Just a couple of breaking news. We actually had a completely different story set up for cut number 3, but since we've been on the air, 2 really sad things out of the NBA. We'll start with the number 1 seed Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns has been diagnosed with a torn meniscus in his left knee. He is out indefinitely. To say that is a huge blow for the Timberwolves is quite the understatement. Out indefinitely at this point of the season, if he's got a torn meniscus, I mean, hey, we're not doctors, but if you just simply look at that based on past torn meniscus that certainly sounds like possibly a season-ending injury. We'll keep you up to date with everything we know about that, but that just sucks. We hate injuries. And speaking of, and of course I'm going to report this one, Ben Simmons is out for the remainder of the season while he consults with specialists and explores treatment options for the nerve impingement in his lower back. And it's just all jokes aside about my love for Ben Simmons. It's a fun bit, but at the same time, I hate this stuff. I hate it. This is starting to get into Brandon Roy type territory, injuries over the years, really, really talented players. And I don't mind if a player stinks. I don't mind if a player, his career takes a turn because he's not good, whatever it may be. But when you see an obviously talented player, no matter who it is, and chronic injuries get them, doesn't matter what the sport is, that stinks. So feel bad for him.
Yeah, a couple of topics obviously we'll be able to address with Sam, because the Timberwolves one is huge impact on the Western Conference in the playoff race.
Really, really is. That is, and you don't want to look as a Kings fan. Obviously, a team above you is missing a massive superstar. Yeah, in black and white and logic, hey, great news. But I think I speak for every Kings fan and every Kings player and every Kings coach. You want to beat everybody at full strength. You don't want injuries to affect anything. You don't want to win like that. It's not the Kings' fault, but you want these teams at their best. And let's be honest, the Timberwolves aren't as bad as the Kings throughout the years, but they're pretty damn close. I don't have any love for them, but you're talking about, along with Oklahoma City, Sacramento, and a few others, you're talking about these teams trying to build up to something, and then something like that happens. Probably, I would say easily, really, the best shooting big man in the league, and you lose them. You lose him for the rest of the season. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go around the NBA. We'll talk a little bit more about Towns, about Simmons, and there's a few more things that happened last night. In the meantime, no real segue here other than to tell you, nope, not going to do that. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to tell you what I was about to do, and then I called my own audible, because the end of the article on Karl Anthony Towns says that this happened a little bit ago, but he's been seeking second opinions. Now, I want to just put out there the amount of discipline I'm showing right now, because this next spot I'm about to do for our good friends at American Energy Heating and Air, it's about second opinions. But you know what we don't do? We don't tie together injuries and endorsements. That's the respect we have, even for our, air quotes, sports enemies. Because we believe injuries should be outlawed, but second opinions should not. American Energy Heating and Air been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981 with an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. And their question's really simple. Like, look, obviously if you just want to get some stuff done, you want to get an update on your system, you want to get something diagnosed, or you need something worked on, American Energy's there for you. But maybe you're working with somebody else right now. We won't blame you. We won't hold it against you. You got yourself a quote, or you're about to get a quote. American Energy Heating and Air just wants you to know that they will come to your home free. They will take a look at your quote and what needs to be done, and they'll give you a quote. And it's either going to save you money, or it's going to make you feel better about the quote you have, because who amongst us knows what an accurate quote is for HVAC work, unless you've worked in the HVAC system. So let American Energy either save you money or make you feel better about what you're doing. at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We'll discuss these latest injuries. We will go around the NBA as well, including a player getting into it with an assistant coach. That's never great. We will do all that right after this.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by AutoAccident.com.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday. We're out the door to a cooler start this morning. Grab that thick jacket as we head through the afternoon. We're getting into mostly sunny skies. A light north wind with afternoon highs mid to upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
For beginning golfers, not getting into bad habits gives you a much better chance of enjoying the game and shooting lower scores. John Howells in Golf Monthly says these mistakes should be avoided. First, know your club distances. Take your yardages not from your best or worst shot, but somewhere in the middle. And no dancing allowed. Swaying in the backswing is a common fault, which forces you to compensate in the downswing. Mastering impact. Trust the loft on the club face and don't try to lift the ball. Club face control. For right-handers, take care to set the perfect grip with 2 V's between thumb and forefinger pointing to your right shoulder. Bunker shots. Many struggle here because they fail to open the club face before hitting the shot. Turn the club before you take your grip. And finally, learn how to read greens and hole more putts. Even on a miss, putts that miss above the hole offer more chance of holding the putt. Now go out and have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Jeep Celebration event?
Save big on your next off-road adventure when you get $15,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2023 Jeep Gladiator Sport, Rubicon, and Mojave. You pick.
My brother has one of those Jeep Gladiator trucks, and he loves it.
Everyone I know that has a Gladiator loves them. And we have 16 to choose from. We're here to help you find the vehicle you need at the best possible price. That's why we don't have a bunch of dealer markups, surprise add-ons, or fees. At Hoblet, you get the small town experience with the big city savings and selection.
This savings can't last long. Don't miss your chance to save big with Hoblet. See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $15,000 total net savings after national standalone 15% of MSRP factory rebate. Sample VIN 566-279. 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon with $94.94 factory rebates and $55.06 dealer discount. $15,000 total net savings, 5 at each net savings. See dealer for details.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. You can join us in the YouTube chat. Just go to YouTube, search Sacktown Sports, and here you are. For 916-339-1140 on the text line. Although I'm Jason, I'm a little ashamed of our YouTube chat today. Not gonna lie.
How so?
Well, look, I'm not one to gatekeep on what we can and can't do, and I've been known to crack a joke here or there, but I don't. It's like yesterday there was some LeBron hate going on, and I don't agree with it, but I get it. He's a superstar. It's this, that, whatever. But man, the jokes about Ben Simmons. I think part of the reason why I have embraced the bit about adopting Ben Simmons and being a fan of his so much really actually has serious undertones. Shockingly, I don't want and never wanted Ben Simmons on this team as much as I play out. But I really, really, really am truly rooting for him to be an all-star again someday, because I didn't like what went down in Philadelphia. And I did not like the subsequent, people gathering outside the bus, chanting at him, sending him death threats, doing all the crazy because he didn't take a shot. Because he didn't take a shot in the playoffs, because he can't hit a three, because he's not a great jump shooter. I understand the criticism of the guy's game all day long. I really do. It's completely legitimate. But I hate bullies. And I always felt like this kid, is there something that Ben Simmons said or did once upon a time that maybe I completely missed the story? Did he talk a bunch of garbage? Did he cop this crazy attitude and ego, or did he just miss basketball shots?
I think there was a couple things. The first part of your question is no. I don't think any of that happened. I don't think there's any character like that type of stuff that's out there. But I think where he's the victim of, he probably went to the most difficult market, and then his coach and the star player teammate, I didn't think helped out at all in that situation.
No, Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid completely threw him under the bus after that Atlanta series. He makes a ton of money, a contract in which all of us would have signed.
Yeah, he had earned that one, I would say, right?
Yeah.
In fairness, he'd earned that one.
Yes. Any team in the league would have maxed out Ben Simmons when that contract came up. And now he's in the middle of a career-altering, if not eventually career-ending, injury situation. And it almost seems with some people celebratory.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not trying to be, sensitive Dave here. It is what it is. I never, that's the thing. I never understood the hatred for Ben Simmons. But
you also know the way this works. Let's try to do it where if he did, like, you'd kind of had pushed that, and whether it was part bit, part reality, but you saw what the fit could be, a healthy, defensive-oriented, assist playmaking guard that could guard multiple positions. Just that premise, could help any team and could help the Kings. But let's say some version of that came here, and then this is what the Kings got. Oh, he'd be hearing it here, too. I don't want it to be exclusive to Philly. Now, it's worse and venomous, maybe more so. But, Marvin Bagley underachieved. He heard it. Buddy Hield, there was frustration with him. And so I don't want to say it would be exclusive to the market, but Philly's probably the most difficult place to be.
Yeah, Philly or New York, 100%. So, anyways, I hope the guy comes back, and I'll stand by what I said. A healthy Ben Simmons on a team like the Sacramento Kings it would be very much something we'd need. But a healthy Ben Simmons right now is not
an option.
Oxymoron almost. Yeah. Chris just sent this to me. I hope this is real. It's off of Mike Tyson's account. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson have now signed to fight each other July 20th, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, live on Netflix. And you know what? My very first instinctive response to this, despite the fact that Mike Tyson's in his 50s and Jake Paul is in his prime, if Mike Tyson doesn't completely flatten Jake Paul, it's a disappointment. Like anything other, I do not want to see the Roy Jones Jr. style performance. I don't want to see a tired, exhausted Mike Tyson. And if they're planning on rigging or throwing this thing, you better not, because it's Mike Tyson. And if you see these pop up every once in a while, Mike Tyson's rolling into a gym or he's talking to people and you see him just kind of shadow boxing and moving, it's like, oh my God.
Frightening.
He would knock me out without touching me just from the wind from one of his punches. So I really, really, really hope, because, I mean, that's it. If he goes the distance or, God forbid, were to lose to Jake Paul, then That's like a ridiculous failure. He pretty much has to knock Jake Paul's front teeth into the back of his throat for this thing to be a success, I think.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to totally plead ignorance here based on not watching him fight, but almost every time after he does, there's some legion of people that say he's actually a really good fighter, like to whatever version that is. But it's like, I think more people are like you, Dave, would like to see Tyson just annihilate him.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, by the way, I don't begrudge the guy. I mean, I've watched fight sports for my entire life. Like, dude knows how to box. I don't think he knows how to box at a legitimately professional level, but I think
he's not a world-class boxer.
Yeah. That's exactly right. I think he could go into 90% of your gyms around the country with amateurs and hold his own. But we're not talking about a guy who legitimately should be rising up the ranks of the alphabet divisions, but also he's drawing a lot of eyes to the sport of boxing, sort of. So there's a part of me that's, I guess, thankful for that. John Collins got into it with Bulls' assistant coach yesterday. Jason, that's interesting.
Yes, for sure.
You don't hear about that too often. It'll be interesting to see what Joe Dumars and the powers that be do. That generally shouldn't happen, and also that generally shouldn't be happening with a from a coach's point of view too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say. Well, there's two sides to this, but it just was a weird incident late in the game, and I mean, really looked like Collins wanted to fight, which is not good in any case on the floor in a game. League doesn't like that at all.
No, not at all. It was John Collins, Chris Fleming, the assistant with the Bulls, got into a brief shoving match. The video replay showed Fleming actually initiated the contact with Collins, who then apparently it looked like he reached for Fleming's throat before being restrained and separated. Quote, "I ran over, I'm standing there, and then the coach comes over and just shoves me for no reason. Y'all can go watch the film, and I just protected myself. I'm literally just standing there, and the dude puts a forearm in my chest and is pushing me back. So I don't know. He needs more self-control. Excuse me. But it is what it is. I don't know what to say about that.
That's John Collins. Symptom?
God dang it, Chris. Yes.
If you need to go, we'll understand.
Thank you. Yeah, are you saying if I actually have rabies symptoms, if I need to take a couple days off, you'll get, Yeah, that'd be a nice follow-up to COVID. The Warriors blow out Milwaukee, held them to 9 points in the fourth. And the Sixers.
That's a nice response, by the way, from losing by 100 to the Celtics and then come back at home and just drub the Bucks. That was pretty good.
It really is. And I was looking at, obviously we're watching the Kings game. I didn't pay much attention. And to the Bucks and Warriors, I just assumed, because I know Giannis was his Achilles has been hurting him. I assumed he didn't play at all. Nope, he played. He played legit minutes. He may not be 100%, but 23.7 boards, 6 assists in 33 minutes, 125-90 over Milwaukee. We'll take a break. When we come back, we have our own win to talk about.
Woo!
A crazy, crazy second quarter is what we're going to focus on. Sacramento wins in L.A. We'll talk about it next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies, first aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Record-breaking global sensation, Chris Brown. The 11/11 Tour. Chris Brown, live in Sacramento. Golden One Center, July 30th. With special guest, Money Long. Get tickets this Monday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. The brand new album, 11/11, is available everywhere. For more, visit ChrisBrownWorld.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Sabonis at the top of the foul circle. Hands to Monk. He'll stop, drop, fire, and score again. Malik Monk's on a heater. He's 5 of 8 from the floor. He's got 15 points in 11 minutes. And he hasn't had a rest, I don't believe, since he checked into the ball game. Here's Reeves driving to the left side of the paint, makes a full pivot, then reaches in and banks a shot up that should have dropped. It didn't. Sabonis with a rebound, leaking out. Malik with a two-hand flush. Malik Monk has 17 first-half points. The Kings are within 3 at 48-45.
The sweet, sweet smell of victory in Los Angeles. Clippers, Lakers, doesn't matter.
Nope.
Kings go down and make it happen. And after the first quarter, it really, well, I wouldn't say it wasn't in doubt because, like many, I was sitting there in a permanent flinch the rest of the game, waiting for the inevitable Lakers run. Huh?
Was that because of the game or the bat?
Yes, both. Trust me, we're looking all around, worrying about both the bat and the comeback, but didn't happen. 130-120. Lakers actually outscored the Kings by 5 in the second half. But Jason Ross, it was a 44-20 second quarter for the Sacramento Kings, building off the run they created. Yeah. This was, you said again, the lead was 19 at one point?
37-18, and one of the, to me, the sleeper parts of the game was that 10-0 run to end the first. So, I mean, they're down 37-28, which isn't a good quarter, but it was awful before that. So you felt a little bit of life, and then came, I think, one of their best quarters of the season, and certainly one of their best quarters in a long time. That second quarter was incredible.
Well, and that's the thing. You can look at the box score and see what they did in that second quarter, 44-20. The impressive number is that from the late first quarter to halftime, the Kings go on a 54-20 run. They put up a 72 spot in the first half. Just absolutely smash the Lakers to the point where LeBron James had to walk off the floor with a little over 3 minutes left because he was done.
He was done. He wanted no part of that. He had no time for that.
No, ain't nobody got time for that. LeBron certainly didn't. And by the way, the Sacramento Kings, or should I say Domantas Sabonis, now 9-0 versus Anthony Davis. 14 points, 11 boards, 3 assists, and a block on 5 of 13 for Davis. And looking at some of the Lakers mentions on social media, oh my God, are they going in on Anthony Davis right now?
I mean, and I guess we can revisit stuff that happened. Like he was named an All-Star. I see still things out there that talk All NBA and have him ahead of Sabonis. And I don't know. I mean, head-to-head should matter in some capacity. And AD has had a good year, but when they've played each other, I thought he was just, I mean, he ended up with, I would say, okay numbers, but he was a zero factor. I mean, just nothing in the game.
No, in a vacuum, you look at his numbers and you go, oh, okay, well, there's that. But you're right. When it came down to it, just completely non-existent. Hey, I did, however, get nominated. I don't think this is sponsored yet, but I'm going to self-nominate for the Carmichael Dave's Stupid Idiot Moment of the Night. It was, I want to say it was sometime in the third quarter. And I think Sabonis had gotten his 10th assist, and I think he had like 14 rebounds and 6 points, right?
Uh-huh.
And I turned to my wife and I actually say this out loud. I go, God, wouldn't it suck if the Kings end up winning this game, but in the process they blow them out and Sabonis, his double-double streak ends? He's only got 6 points. And like she keeps watching for a second, then she turns to me and she goes, well, but he has like 15 rebounds and 10 assists. And I sat there and I went, oh God, that's right. I didn't even think that way, but that would continue his double-double streak.
Yeah,
right?
he kind of he had the easiest one left to get for the triple-double, and he ultimately got there. But yeah, you're right. He got the points and the rebounds and assists first.
I don't think I've ever really thought of it like that. I just honestly think of a double-double as points and either assists or rebounds. And for some reason, I had this weird brain freeze where I was like, well, if he only has 6 points, I guess the streak ends. No. Yeah. So he could legitimately have like 3 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 10 steals and 10 blocks.
He could.
And the double-double streak continues.
Yes. That would be a story.
That would actually, yeah. I mean, already, the fact of the matter is this. What is this now, 44 consecutive games?
Yeah, he's closing in on getting closer to Kevin Love.
I mean, but not an all-star, Jason.
Not an all-star, and, with Embiid out, I feel like for the bigs, he's got a real good chance of being second-team All-NBA, which still also gets him that payment that he didn't get from the All-Star game. So I hope that part happens. But he was a part of that. The other number that we have here that I loved the most was 14 consecutive makes, and they went 8 minutes and 40 seconds of the second quarter without missing a shot.
And you combine that with, I think it was just under 4 minutes. I want to say it was, at one point it was 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I know that because I remember the number that the Lakers did not score. I think they broke that streak with a D'Angelo Russell free throw, if I remember correctly. But the fact that somewhere in that 8-minute, 40-second range where they didn't miss a shot, the Lakers also went almost 4 minutes without scoring at all. It was a perfect storm for Sacramento, and they just end up blowing the Lakers off the floor.
Yeah, it was, and again, games turn, but the dramatic switch, and to do it in less than a half. Like, we've seen comebacks, and we'll have that a little bit later too, or actually the next segment. They've done it. It's happened to the Kings. It's happening more and more. But I don't recall one that drastically in the early part of a game. I mean, from 19 down where it looked like, wow, maybe that Bulls loss did more damage than we even thought, to new life. And then the Lakers were the ones kind of getting booed and cat calls and stuff that just the fans were upset with them, which was quite honestly nice to see and hear.
Yeah, there were some boo birds coming down out there, and we're used to seeing Laker fans leave early, but they were leaving exceptionally early. One other note, too, that should be thrown out there, the Lakers bench 18 points on the night versus 50 for the Sacramento Kings bench, and obviously Malik Monk, the bulk of that, 26 points, but you also had 12 out of Davion Mitchell, and let's give him his flowers. 4-4, all 4 from beyond the arc. There are times where Davion Mitchell looks like he is a starting point guard in this league, and then there's times where that jump shot just misses over and over again. And Jason, honestly, based on Mitchell's high basketball IQ and the fact that he is an absolute gym rat, I tend to lean towards the fact that at some point in his career, probably sooner rather than later, we're going to see a far, far more consistent shooter out of Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, I believe that. And then, sometimes, and I hope so, because the one thing we won't ever have to question with him is work. Like that guy works probably too hard, if anything. And then, the other part is, much like we've seen the Kings, for whatever reason, have all sorts of trouble with a team like New Orleans. The Lakers, I don't know, it seemingly has been a sweet spot matchup-wise, and their voice yesterday joined us, John Ireland. He said one of the trouble spots for the Lakers is guarding opposing teams' guards. And Fox 44, Malik 26, you mentioned Davion's 12. I mean, what is that? 82 points from those three players? I mean, that's unbelievable.
It really is. The guards absolutely ate them up. And let's not forget Keon Ellis either. Doesn't show up a ton in the box score, 5 points, 3 boards. But his defense and his ability it seemed like he made a massive impact on the game in just 14 minutes. And by the way, that's becoming the norm, not the exception for him lately.
Yeah, I'm going to look. Plus 7. Or wait, what was he? Plus minus?
Plus 17. Second only to Malik Monk's plus 19.
Which is pretty crazy to do in 14 minutes.
And coming up at 7:13 and 3 for Madness, we're also going to address the fact that Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes had a combined minus 15 in the starting lineup. We need to look at their minutes as well and have a conversation there. But
Huerter had to me, I mean, he had 2 points, but that was what happened? Did his knees forget how to work? Did you see that layup where it's like, it's easy dunk or at least an easy layup. And then it was like, he jumped after he had lifted weights or something. Like his legs didn't work. I'm glad he made it, though.
It was a bat.
It was a bat.
I think it was a bat. We'll take a break. When we come back, you mentioned it, Jason, the Kings of the comeback. We've got numbers to back that up as well. And Mike Brown doing something we sure as heck aren't used to. Mike Brown and his coaching staff doing. It's all positives this morning on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Chris Verlaud behind the glass. We're right back right after this.
The Spurs visit Golden One Center tonight to face the Kings.
Gives it up to Fox, gets into the paint, reaches with the left hand, scores at the buzzer. What a finish for the Sacramento Kings.
Kings and Spurs tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
At Lowe's, pros save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 230 or more select James Hardie fiber cement siding panels. And there's more. Save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, Sacramento, get ready for a lineup that's not just hitting home runs, but delivering laughs and legendary tunes. It's the Sacktown Sports live events calendar, where entertainment takes center stage. First up, on March 22nd, get ready for a night of hilarity as the comic genius Hannibal Buress takes the spotlight at the historic Crest Theater. Get ready for a side-splitting evening that's a real game changer. And on March 23rd, the laughs keep coming with the one and only Dimitri Martin at the Crest Theater. It's a comedy doubleheader that's sure to score big with your funny bone. But wait, sports fans, the excitement doesn't end there. On August 4th, the Outlaw Music Festival rides into the Toyota Amphitheater, featuring legends like Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. It's a musical grand slam you won't want to miss. Keep the adrenaline pumping, Sacramento. Visit SacktownSports.com for all the details and ticket information. Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, your ultimate playbook for unforgettable nights and epic performances.
One ticket, two shows, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, travel trailers, pontoon boats, fifth wheel, personal watercraft and ATVs, toy haulers, fishing boats, motorhomes, and more. One massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. March 7th through 10th. Find discounts at twohugeshows.com.
Welcome to the March Mania sales event at Kia of Vacaville, Northern California's premier destination for automotive excellence. Get ready for an exhilarating showcase of our 2024 vehicle lineup, where innovation meets the road and customer satisfaction reigns supreme. Step into the future with the all-new Kia Sportage, where cutting-edge design harmonizes with dynamic performance. Explore the outstanding fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that redefines eco-friendly driving. Experience the unparalleled luxury and versatility of the Kia Telluride, setting new standards for sophistication and practicality. Don't miss out on our impressive selection of eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, tailored for drivers who demand efficiency without compromising on style. And for those seeking the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it ready for delivery or in stock. Visit us today during March Mania and discover why Kia of Vacaville is the ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Model availability and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more information.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Kelly Brothers coming up at the bottom of the hour as we enter hour number 2 of the program. Dave, Jason, and Chris Verlaud behind the glass. Sam Amick at 8 a.m. But the story of the day, it's a happy show. It's a happy chat.
I'm freaking jacked.
I am freaking jacked. The Sacramento Kings despite a bat being in my house. By the way, bats 1-0.
Oh, good point.
You know,
might be worth it, Dave.
Rally bat.
Yep.
Kings win. Kings win. Kings win. Hey,
Did you like the bat?
Wow. I honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea at this point. I'd be perfectly fine with lighting the bat. Although I wouldn't want to be anywhere near. I mean, I don't want to. No, I take that back, dude. The bat didn't do anything. Bat was just batting.
Okay, here's the question.
Yeah.
If it got the Kings a title and the bat had to be there through June.
Yes.
You do it?
Yep.
Okay.
Have you ever pet a bat?
No. Have you?
Yeah. I can't remember.
You know what I love about that? Chris is like, I go, have you ever pet a bat? Chris goes, yeah.
I can't remember what show it was for, but someone had someone that has like a bat sanctuary around here, and they brought the bat in. They brought the bat in, and it was like in a blanket and stuff. Like, oh, go ahead and give him a pet. I'm like, oh, okay.
On one of the shows here?
It was over at the Madison building. So it wasn't the I want to say it was maybe like one of those PSA shows that we have on the weekend.
Oh.
And you're like, yeah, I'm really intrigued. Let me pet a bat.
Yeah, at first I'm just like, and I'm like, it looks pretty cool.
It looked cool to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks
but
cool.
It looks like a
it looks like shoes on.
It looks like a little black gerbil.
Huh.
Okay.
They eat grapes.
What?
Isn't that what is that what they call a fruit bat? I mean, honest question.
I think
huh?
I don't think like bats like eat like big things. It's always like like bugs and stuff like that. I don't think they're like they're not like going to attack you. Unless they're riddled with rabies.
Right. And I'm not gonna lie on this. I've been severely influenced by the movie Goonies. And the scene where all the bats fly out on Martha Plimpton. And my dad would tell me, like, well, back when I lived in Guam, fruit bat was a delicacy. We used to eat fruit bat all the time. What?
No, thanks.
Anyways, Kings win. And the Kings win. And fellers, what a win. And Jason, what a comeback. And these are the cardiac comeback Kings, if you will.
Yeah, we know the games that they've given up, which is unfortunate. But the list now is growing. That's a 19-point comeback, technically, right? It was early, but that still goes on the list of what now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of 18-point comebacks or more. And when you count them all up at the end, that's going to be important for them.
That is going to be important for them. They have 5 comebacks, 18 points or more, as you said. The 24-point comeback to the Warriors, we remember that one. That was that very emotional game that they ended up coming back and winning at home earlier in the year. They were down in Atlanta to the Hawks, 23, ended up coming back and winning. Down 20 to the Pistons, not the one at home that they lost, but the one on the road.
And they ended up winning that one by, I think, 21 points. That was another major flip-around game.
Down 19 to the Lakers. We talked about that. Down 18 to the Spurs. Now, one thing in common with those is, with the exception of the Lakers and Warriors, you're not dealing with, and even the Lakers and Warriors are average teams. The rest are below average. And there's been quite a few, when we talk about comebacks, Kings have also given up a couple of leads this year as well. But Jason, it's the continuation of the conversation we've had much of this season. On one hand, this roller coaster, as De'Aaron Fox called it, of the big win in Minnesota, followed by the home loss to the Bulls, followed by the big win in Los Angeles. On the downside, this team is inconsistent. They seem to play down to their competition, and they could lose to any team on any given night, and they could blow a lead regardless of the size of it to any given team on any given night. But the good side is they have proven they can win on the road anywhere, regardless of how good the team is and how great their home record is. And they're able to bounce back from devastating losses.
Yep.
And they're able to come back regardless of how big the deficit is. So you really do have a tale of two Sacramento Kings teams here.
Yeah, again, it's like what mood are they in? What elements do you want to portray? If you look at it, glass half empty, then you're going to recite all of all those things are true. The disappointing losses, their own games where they've blown leads, undermanned games, games you just think going in they should win that they've lost, that at the end you'll count them up and go, man, if they end up as anywhere from a 7, 10, 6, 5 seed, you'll go, they could have been 4 or 3. You'll always move the number up because you know what they've given up. But then on the positive side, the number of quality wins nowadays, I count that one as a quality win last night. The Lakers have been playing well, and I know their record's worse than the Kings, but a loss to the Lakers would have been now a half-game separation. Instead, it's 2.5, and that doesn't mean it's over, but it's 2.5, but it's really 3.5 because you've now won the season series. You've pushed them to 10th. That's important. You're now a half game back of 6, and it just, the list, here's the list of teams in the league that have more road wins than the Kings. Minnesota. That's it. Now, there's a bunch with 19 like the Kings, but if you're doing that, that shows that you can be one of the better teams in the league. Home record's got to get better, and it starts tonight, really, with a 6-game homestand.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, top of my head, didn't the Kings, weren't they tied, with Milwaukee last year for most road wins in the league?
Yeah.
Which brings us to one of the many mysteries, and we talked about this yesterday, with this team is why is it that seemingly the home court advantage that we tout so highly, and again, I want to be very clear here, this is not me taking a dig at fans. Like, the fans do everything they can. The atmosphere is insane. Golden One Center is awesome. But why the hell aren't the Kings better at home?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, and there's their share of bad home losses, a couple good home wins, but I think I would believe that almost everybody, if we polled all our listeners, I think they've played better on the road. It shows with the quality of wins, but just even I don't know any other way to put it. Like when they were coming back last night and then had the lead and then put the hammer down and we're up 15 by half. Dave, couldn't you feel it through the screen? There was just a swagger about them.
Yes. That
you would feel like the crowd's behind them at home. And if they're on a run like that, you would feel like you could end games, but for whatever reason, it doesn't happen the same way. And I don't know the answer. That sometimes it's okay to not know. And I don't think they do, but it's weird. I know they maybe relish that road feel where it's them against the world. I don't know, but everyone here loves them and they want them to thrive and do well at home. So it's a weird separation between those two.
Same as you watching the game last night. Imagine that 55-20 run in front of Golden One Center.
Right. They're going crazy, but then I think we're all in the building going, I don't know. I did not think they were going to lose the game. I really didn't, even though I should have been on my radar, but maybe I would have if that was at home, and that really, to me, doesn't make sense.
23-18 at home last year as the 3 seed, 25-16 on the road last year. One of the few teams to have a better road record than a home record. In fact, they might be the only team, actually, because I don't think Milwaukee did. I'd have to look that up. And then this year, the Kings, 16-11 at home, 19-15 on the road. Technically better at home this year, but it's just way too... This is a team that I think should be, 20-7 at home, that type of thing. Those losses should be in single digits. But you know what? Mike Brown won a couple challenges, Jason.
And I can't remember which of the two. Might have even been both. I thought, oh, no, the second one, I understood why I did. That was the knee to Malik's midsection. The first one, where it was like last touch by Reeves, I thought, I didn't even know really the first time I saw it. I go, I don't know who that's out on, but why? Why are you even challenging this? And he got it right, so good for him.
No, I will, as we break, I will, look, we are big on accountability here at the Carmichael, Dave, Jason Ross show, and I am your accountability buddy. I will publicly apologize to Mike Brown because that second challenge, I fired a tweet off without even seeing the replay. All I saw were Malik's feet, and I'm like, why in God's name are you challenging this? It's not even close. And then replay obviously saw the knee. It was a good challenge.
Yeah.
So of course I had to follow that up with, well, you challenge it because it's a good challenge. I can tell you this: last year, Jason, Mike Brown had 22 challenges before the fourth quarter. That led the league. For example, Doc Rivers Chauncey Billups, Darvin Ham, and Joe Mazzulla all had 5 or less before the fourth quarter. And through, I think it was the new year this year, just to put some numbers on this, the Sacramento, for example, Charlotte has won 60% of their challenges, as has Dallas. The Sacramento Kings are only ahead of Detroit when it comes to winning challenges at 28.5%. Now, that's probably gotten better since.
Yeah.
But there are some numbers to back Kings fans' nervousness when they challenge calls. So
yeah, I'm glad they got them both. But that, that's always an adventure when he calls the challenge.
2-0 last night, though.
Yep, take it. I think that's a first. I don't know that for sure, but
yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
We will take a break. Kelly Brothers coming up at 7:30. Fire Wings brings you 3 for Madness. Just a 1-minute break here. We'll talk about predicting wins and losses, Barnes and Herter, and Sabonis' dominance over Anthony Davis. We'll do all that right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Ram Truck Month?
Well, we're celebrating with the biggest savings of the year on new 2024 Ram 1500 Laramie Limiteds. I can barely believe it, but right now you can save up to $16,000 off MSRP on one of America's most loved trucks.
Did you say $16,000 off MSRP?
Yep. And we have California's biggest selection of new Ram trucks with over 500 available. Big savings and big selection. That's what's made us California's #1 Ram truck dealer.
If you're looking for a truck, Hoblet should be your first and only stop to get the truck you need at the price you want. See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $16,012 savings on select new 2024 Ram Laramie Limiteds after $1086 factory rebates and $6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from authorized case dealer. And 500 first responder cash for current members of eligible First Responder Association. Sample VIN 203287. See dealer for details.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Christopher Ladd, and Fire Wings. Bringing you 3 for Madness. Question 1, please.
Many Kings fans were comfortable predicting a win last night against the Lakers. Is that good or a bad thing?
Many fans, many fans predicted a win. Shout out 50. I've been thinking about this because on one hand, we're able to pretty confidently predict. Like I'm kind of like half joking. Actually, you know what? I am 32% joking. I had to put a good number on it. When I say that you could make a lot of money following this team so far this season on a few simple bets. If they get a big win, just take the other team following it. If they're playing their first game at home after a road game, take the other team. And if they get a bad loss, take the Kings in the following game. If I remember correctly, guys, I know we did this yesterday, were the Lakers favored, was it 3.5 or 6.5?
I think it was closer to 3.5, right?
Okay. So, obviously the Kings covered that spread, but the fact that we're able to, not with 100% accuracy, but it's not just a random thing, a random reason why. I'll go all the way back to the Memphis game on the road they lost, or in the Miami game, on the road that they lost when Miami was in the middle of that, I think, 7-game losing streak. And we pretty much all day long were talking about how that was going to be a loss at the Kings of Robitussin. And then bring Miami here without Jimmy Butler a couple weeks ago. And I think a large majority of Kings fans expected that they would lose. I don't know that the same amount expected a road win in Minnesota per se, but we were definitely talking about losing to the Bulls. Mm-hmm. And then that turned around. And Jason, look, I almost, after the show yesterday, and especially during the beginning of the Kings-Lakers game, I'm sitting there and I'm going, wow, that's what we get for being confident. Because I think yesterday's show and the subsequent conversation on social media was about as confident as I've ever seen this fan base on based on a road game against a potential playoff team. Like, we believed that last night was going to be a win, and it was, but there's a reason why we have whiplash, though.
Yeah.
Because now we hear that Victor Wembanyama is going to be out tonight. It's the first game back after being on the road. I think everybody and their mother's sitting here saying, take the Spurs, if not to win, to cover outright.
Yeah, look, I didn't spend a ton of time on social media, but what I did see was probably that is as much of a feeling of confidence there was against the Lakers going in. I saw that right away when the news came out before the game that Victor Wembanyama was going to be out tonight, and then just a bunch of Kings fans already fretting that game. And you just go, wow, they haven't even played the Lakers yet, and they're already worried and nervous about tomorrow night's game. So, yeah, I mean, I like the characteristic of bouncing back from the bad loss. I also think it really, truly is a matchup thing, and they've matched up well. So I don't know if it's more of a confidence in the Kings coming off a bad loss or the matchup against the Lakers, but either way, the performance justified that confidence, right? I mean, after the beginning, they were by far the better team the majority of the night.
Kelly Brothers coming up next with Sports Business. Let's get to question number 2.
Good at business.
Question 2.
Barnes and Herter played 27 minutes last night, while Lyles and Monk played 62. Is it time Mike Brown looks at flipping those two starting positions?
I think, honestly, it's been time. And I'm not necessarily saying, Mike, you've got to flip those positions. I know that is a big decision in itself, but also the fact that they've had the exact same starting lineup with the exception of injury now for going on 2 seasons. That's a big deal when you're talking about continuity. I just... And look, I don't know why we have to. I feel the need to put a disclaimer every time we get into this, but I will. It's no secret. Harrison Barnes and Kevin Herter are, Jason, I'll speak for you too, 2 of our favorite people plus favorite players. And I think I speak for a lot of Kings fans when I say that. This is not personal, and I root my you-know-what off every time for these guys. I just can't help but wonder. I get the whole, well, then you're taking offense away from the bench. Okay. But also, especially in Malik Monk's case, and we talked about this yesterday, Jason, how many times does this guy have to have 30-plus minutes and go for 26 points or whatever? And we've seen that he and Fox can share the floor together. This isn't just, well, you're doubling up and you can't have both at the same time. They've shared the floor together and had quite a bit of success. And as a matter of fact, I don't have it in front of me, but am I correct? I don't think Herter nor Barnes touched the floor in the second quarter yesterday.
Correct.
Okay. They didn't touch the floor in the second quarter. It was 44-20 Kings, and they were a combined minus 15 on the night, whereas Malik Monk and Trey Lyles, the 2 that would replace them, were a combined plus 33. Now, plus minus is a goofy stat, if you will. Just makes me wonder, at some point, do you just come out with your best 5 and let the bench figure it out?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm resigned to the fact that he's just not going to do it with Malik. We've talked about this where there's been games where Herter hasn't started, so it's been Keon, it's been Davion, it's been Duarte, anybody basically but Malik Monk. They clearly like him in the bench role, and he plays more minutes. I know we say that before. It doesn't matter who starts, it's who finishes. But sometimes in these slow starts, you wonder if that could have an impact. But I just don't think he's going to change that. The Barnes one, I mean, he's looking at, 201 straight starts. I don't think they're going to do it. The funny thing, too, is, and I'm not even remotely suggesting this, but, technically Keegan had 7 points, and no one would say take him. I mean, he does other things. I think the games that Barnes and Herter do a little bit more than just score, and last night, they didn't score that much. But if, Herter has some games where he rebounds pretty well and gets some deflections and steals, and same with Barnes, they all kind of had their role. Duarte was actually really good in the Bullets game, and then he didn't play last night. So I think Coach really does jumble it around, like it or not. And this is the group that really, that starting 5 of the last 2 years has won more games than they've lost. So I don't think he's going to change it, but he also is clearly not afraid to limit the starters' minutes.
Yeah, and I think you're perfectly justified in bringing up Keegan Murray. Let's be honest. He's a sophomore. He's having ups and downs offensively. This is a guy averaging 15 points a game this year, and he's averaged a little over 11 points for both February and now into March. March is especially, we're only 3 games in, but he's shooting 42% and 21% from behind the arc. So we've seen this movie before where Keegan will get in these mini slumps and then bounce out. But as you mentioned with Keegan Murray, and to an extent Harrison and Kevin, but I think really with Keegan Murray, you're also getting at times A-plus defense, a guy who can guard multiple positions, who is able to contribute in other ways. And by the way, is also capable of 47-point nights. Right. So look, Mike Brown's coach of the year. He's earned the trust. I get what he's doing. I understand it. I just honestly, the whole, it doesn't matter who starts, it matters who finishes. I've never disagreed with that. I understand that it matters more who finishes than who starts. I get that.
Right.
But at the same time, you don't want to constantly put yourself, in holes. Well, I guess unless you're the Sacramento Kings and you've got multiple comeback wins. So maybe I don't know anything about it. Cut number 3.
Question 3.
Is Sabonis being 9-0 against AD just a quirk in the numbers, or is there a real underlying dominance there?
I feel like 9-0, Jason, is beyond like, and by the way, that's over multiple. That's Pelicans. That's Sabonis with the Pacers, and there's multiple teams involved there. But 9-0 is that's a pretty large sample size, and obviously they're not playing one-on-one. There's many other players involved, but then you look at their numbers versus each other, and Anthony Davis, let's be real here. Anthony Davis is an elite basketball player who is one of the best players in the NBA. He is a phenomenal center. He is a fringe MVP candidate annually. He is a defensive player of the year candidate annually. And by the way, Anthony Davis has been incredibly durable this year, and he deserves credit for that. But I don't think he likes playing with bully centers like Sabonis. I really think it gets in his head and it affects him.
Yeah, and clearly it did last night. He got into foul trouble early. He was a non-factor. It was dominance by Sabonis, and really the Kings in the paint. That's the other thing. That's an area that AD is supposed to control. Kings had one of their best scoring nights in the paint. What was their final number? Yeah, 76 points in the paint. Mm-hmm. So, 9-0 isn't that small a sample size anymore. So, impressive.
Yeah, it is very impressive. Good for you, and I hope that goes to 21-0. We'll take a break. Yes. When we come back, just a couple-minute break here. Kelly Brothers, sports business.
Good business.
He's very, very good at business. He will educate us. My dad's favorite segment. We're going to talk about Nick Saban, or we'll talk about Arch Manning opting out of EA, and the Tyson Paul brawl along with Caitlin Clark. We got a lot to get to with Kelly. We'll do all that next.
The Spurs visit Golden One Center tonight to face the Kings.
Gives it up to Fox, gets into the paint, reaches with the left hand, scores at the buzzer. What a finish for the Sacramento Kings.
Kings and Spurs tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
UC Davis Aggie fans, this is your new head football coach, Tim Plow, inviting you to our spring football game on Saturday, March 9th at 5 p.m. at UC Davis Health Stadium. The game is free to the public, with doors opening at 4 p.m. We're going to feature music, food trucks, shirt giveaways. Get your first look at the 2024 squad featuring reigning Big Sky Conference Player of the Year, Lan Larison. Come join us on Saturday, March 9th for some Aggie football and see what Shredville's all about. Go Ags.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopier.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
All righty then. Welcome in. It is Thursday at 7:30, which means one thing and one thing only. Well, it means two things. Number one is Thursday at 7:30. I guess it means that. Secondly, though, and more importantly, it is Sports Business with Kelly Brothers. Good morning.
Dave, good morning to you. And let's hope the Kings can take care of business against a non-Wemby Spurs team tonight. This will be a nice little test just to see if the backbone is growing at all.
Yeah, and the fact that we're even bringing that, we were just talking about this earlier, Kelly, the fact that this was brought up incessantly before the Bulls game, the fact that this was brought up incessantly before they faced the Jimmy Butlerless Heat at home last week, and the fact that we're now bringing, let's see if this is familiar, big star sitting out of a below average team with one of the best coaches in the NBA that's going to come in and execute their game plan. Has that? Oh yeah, that happened with Spoelstra and the Heat.
Yeah, stop me if you've heard this one before, but let's leave room for growth, Dave. Let's leave room for growth.
Yeah, let's leave room for growth. Much like the EA Sports college football game. Arch Manning has opted out, he says, to focus on his football. I think it was more about he thinks his name is worth more than $650. And Kelly, I thought ex-pitcher Brandon McCarthy had maybe the most salient point about this whole thing. He said, I've been in these games before. It's absolutely exhausting because you could be sitting there on an off day doing absolutely nothing, and then some schmo somewhere picks up a controller, and now all of a sudden you've got to go pitch. It's it's not the best thing in the world to do. I thought that was a very good point by Brandon. But with Arch Manning and the fact that these guys are making so much money, I completely get the decision.
No, so do I. I mean, it's couch change for them now. It used to be a big thing if you got a free video game, but it wouldn't. You know, the Mannings seem to be pretty high character people. It wouldn't shock me at all if Arch said something like, hey, listen, I want to actually do something first and not just show up and practice and not play. So I'm sure he's waiting for his opportunity. I don't know if he's going to get next year or not. They got some other good options there. So I'm again defaulting to the idea that maybe he was just uncomfortable with the level of attention he's getting, considering he doesn't start or really play.
Kelly, we talk a lot about college sports and name, image, and likeness. So in that story, then we kind of tie it over to Nick Saban, one of the most decorated college coaches we've ever seen, and now he's done. How much of that has been a factor? Because he's talked about how broken college sports are right now.
Yeah, and he an article on ESPN this week, he came right out and said he did not know if he was going to leave or stay, but the meetings after their final game convinced him it was time to go. These players were not talking about what they could do to get better. They were talking about what's going to be my playing time and how much money are you going to guarantee me in NIL money. And he just thought, all right, no, I'm not better, not worse. This is just not the job I originally signed up for, and it's time for a younger guy to take it over. And I would bet you that's the same with Jay Wright at Villanova. A few years ago, I think it is changing dramatically, and you have to be far more than just a coach anymore. And I think Nick was just of the mind, I can't reinvent myself at this stage.
And we've got three pretty big college football fans talking on this show right now. And Kelly, I confess I'm at a loss because I'm grossed out by the transfer window, these players making tons of money, it all coming down to who's getting paid what, how it squeezes out some of your other programs, the big business of this whole thing. Going back in the day, when I say back in the day, I mean like 2 years ago, when players were sharing on social media their goodie bags that they get at a bowl game, and God forbid they play the Best Buy Bowl and have a PlayStation. It was like they won the lottery. And there's something, let's just be honest, there's something endearing about these poor college kids playing college football for the love of the game for the most part, and knowing that this is the only time the last time they're going to play any sort of organized football. On the other hand, Nick Saban's also making 8 figures, damn near 9 figures a year. His house and mortgage is paid for. He has multiple vehicles paid for, private planes, whether it's him, it's John Calipari, and they're not the ones out there with developing brain stems, getting CTE all over the place and risking their health for this whole thing. So I 100% see both sides, and I have no idea what the solution is.
I think if you want to protect the sport, you have to find a way to reduce the jumping into the portal after each year. You have to, because the fans of these teams are going to feel much less of a connection to players who are there for 1 year and out, or much less of a connection to a bunch of players who will never graduate from their university. And so maybe it's as simple as saying, listen, the portal is there. You get to use it once. And after that, you're giving up a year of eligibility or something like that. Just something that limits it so that it is not a clear and ever-present danger to any coach. Boy, if you don't play this guy, he's just going to hop in the portal and go somewhere else. So we talked about it a little bit last week, Dave, but that college football needs a commissioner. College football needs someone who is there to look out for the sport, not for the individual conferences, not for the individual schools, but to look out for the actual sport itself. Because right now the commissioner is Jimmy Sexton, who's an agent to all the SEC coaches, and that's not the way it should work.
And to kind of tie this into all sports in college, Kelly, how about Caitlin Clark, a player that did decide to go pro, had, through the COVID year, could have had another year. She smashed all the records, basically is the face of college basketball, men's or women's right now, and probably financially could have done better by staying at Iowa in a unique situation, because it's always been go pro to get you started on that financial clock there. But she decides to go there, and just her overall impact on ticket sales last week and what she's meant for college basketball.
Yeah, I was thinking, if I were advising her, what would I tell Caitlin Clark? Because I think you're right. She could make more money staying at Iowa than she could in the WNBA. The ratings of the game where she broke the record, they were higher than Warriors Celtics that day.
Wow.
Granted, the Celtics just literally wiped the floor with the Warriors by 52 points, I think. But the Big Ten women's basketball tournament just sold out for the first time ever. And it's all because of Caitlin Clark. So she has to, if you're looking to leverage your skills and not only that, but the moment in time, I don't know if WNBA is the way to go. I'm sure WNBA wants her. Absolutely. Heck, if I were a GM in the NBA, I might say, come and try out.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can park you at the 3-point line and see what happens. And we'll run a zone. But her effect on the sport has been astounding. I'm a little surprised she's not sticking around Iowa.
Yeah, because again, there's a lot of money to be made there, and when it comes to the NFL, the NBA, baseball, your classic men's American sports, there's little doubt that if you go pro, your income's going to increase. But when it used to be a joke, Kelly, oh well, he's coming out of college, he's going to be taking a pay cut. That was actually a joke that would be said, where you were kind of half accusing a university of being a little bit corrupt. When it comes to Caitlin Clark, like, that's a legit question that she's very possibly, not likely, but I would say possibly, the endorsements are going to stay. And in fact, the endorsements will more than likely increase. But yes, she legitimately could be making as much or less in the WNBA than she currently is at Iowa. And I think that says more about how they need to get those salaries up in the WNBA as anything else.
And that ties into, Dave, was it Johnny Manziel who this week said he's going to boycott all the Heisman stuff because they have not reinstated Reggie Bush? What Reggie Bush got is a drop in the bucket compared to what athletes are getting today. So they think, people like Johnny Manziel think, all right, this is hypocritical. Let's let the guy back in. I was at the Bush push game many years ago, and that win was actually vacated by USC, which doesn't mean anything other than in the record books it's shown as a loss. But it is a sore point now on a number of different fronts. I mean, it's not like Pete Rose. Yeah, there's gambling everywhere now, but coaches and players still have rules about it. Or you look at steroids; those are still illegal. In this case, anything he did was, again, just a fraction of what is allowed now. So I think they will reinstate Reggie Bush.
Kelly, you've been telling us for a while to keep our eye on all these their streaming options for sports. That's the thing that's growing, whether it's Apple, Amazon, Peacock, Hulu, whatever. Pick your streaming outlet. Well, Netflix announced today Tyson versus Jake Paul, versus Mike Tyson. Intriguing. What do you think that's going to do for Netflix?
You've heard of the term "old man strong"? That is going to be Mike Tyson, man. 58 years old and mad as hell. So, I don't. It is a little bit of a gimmick. I mean, I think it's been almost 20 years since Tyson actually fought. So, but you're right. Netflix is in the game. All these major streamers. The NBA contract is up. LeBron is positioning to own a franchise when he is done. And so the money is extraordinary. The one train wreck out there that really needs to figure stuff out because of all the money flowing around is golf. They still have not figured this out. Remember, they made an announcement a year ago. Hey, Liv and PGA, we're coming together. We're going to create one big entity, and the Saudis will own X% and we'll own, but LeBron and a number of other athletes just invested in the PGA, but it's not part of Liv yet. And that's going to create issues, especially for some of the Masters, I think, going forward do you really have the best players, or are some of them shut out?
Yeah, we are in, really, when you think about it, and I think it's sometimes, it's good sometimes as we wrap up here with Kelly to kind of step back and go to 50,000 feet and just look at what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the paychecks of college sports and players, legendary coaches leaving because it just ain't their gig anymore. We're talking about television rights and a service that used to send you DVDs in the mail, now along with a computer company and another company that sends you ring lights within 12 hours of you ordering them. We're talking about all these non-traditional cash sources really scaring the hell out of ABC, CBS, NBC, ESPN, Fox, all your standard old men channels. And Kelly, when you combine that with, and we're not quite there yet, but with the release of Apple's Vision Pro, with MetaQuest, with a lot of your headsets, and the ability now to literally spread out like you're in a movie theater and have carte blanche, a la carte, I should say, whatever programming sports-wise you want in front of you. We really are in this kind of crazy renaissance when it comes to college sports and how we view sports. And part of me is trying to appreciate it. I just don't like new things.
Yeah, and it all goes back to, Dave, and I know we're up against the clock, so I'll make this quick. It all goes back to the incredible wealth created through technology. And we've seen that, and we've seen it this week. I've been doing a lot of reading and doing some other stories on Hawaii. Hawaii is deathly afraid of being bought up by tech billionaires. I mean, Larry Ellison bought 98% of the island of Lanai. Benioff just made a $150 million gift to some hospitals over there because he's bought up a bunch of land and he wants to develop it the way he wants to develop it. And the Hawaiians are like, oh my God, we've got to stop this. And it's especially come to a head after the tragic fire in Lahaina, where now we were over there and you just see these signs up where it's very clear they want very strict rules as to who can buy that land and rebuild on it. But it all goes back to the incredible fortunes. I mean, fortunes that dwarf any of the uber wealthy of the past. We're talking, hundreds of billions of dollars. We're in our lifetime, we'll see the first trillionaire. Might be Jensen Huang, a guy who hasn't really bought anything yet, but he runs NVIDIA, started NVIDIA out of a Denny's in San Jose. And now it's a $2 trillion company. So these fortunes have led people, have kind of distorted reality for a lot of sports, and we're still working our way through it.
That is Kelly Brothers. Hear him each and every Thursday at 7:30, The Business of Sports. Back at you, Kelly. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Dad says hi, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace out, brother.
Take care. That's Kelly Brothers. We'll take a break. Don't forget Sam Ament coming up at 8 o'clock in just about 15 minutes. But when we get back, it's De'Aaron Fox's big night in Los Angeles. We'll talk about that and how is De'Aaron Fox afraid of Keegan Murray? Is he afraid of him? We'll explain what we mean by that. Coming up next on Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
One ticket, two shows, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, travel trailers, pontoon boats, fifth wheel, personal watercraft and ATVs, toy haulers, fishing boats, motorhomes, and more. One massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. March 7th through 10th. Find discounts at twohugeshows.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day,
you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a Realtor can help answer. Because Realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what Realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix. Live and local. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Sam Amick. In just 10 minutes, boy, do we have a lot to talk to him about. Karl Anthony Towns and his injury, Ben Simmons, his injury, many other NBA storylines, and of course, your Sacramento Kings, who were in action last night. Jason, I'm not sure if you knew this, but the Sacramento Kings beat the LA Lakers last night in Los Angeles, 130-120.
Yeah, I watched that game.
You did?
Yeah, it was an enjoyable game after a few minutes into the game. It wasn't fun early, but yeah, I really enjoyed myself.
And you were listening all night long, and as a matter of fact, we will take your phone calls at 1-800-920-1140 for your Jiffy Lube drive of the game. You were listening all night to Gary Gerald. You listened to the Jiffy Lube drive of the game, and I'm just going to imagine, because I listened to for a few, it's always great to hear happy, ecstatic, excited, proud Gary Gerald.
Yeah, because there was a moment early on where he used the line, "The Kings are getting run out of the building by the Lakers," and it was like, oh man, which they were at one point, but then they flipped that script, which was nice to see.
Well, De'Aaron Fox flipped the script, 44 points, quite a few of them coming in the fourth quarter, and I'm just going to say this. I don't know this for a fact. I could be wrong, but Jason, watching De'Aaron play, especially the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, I think he knew, A, he was at his career high, and B, I think he very, very badly wanted at least 48 points so he'd have trash talking in the locker room on Keegan Murray. I think that was a big deal to him.
On Rain's babysitter?
Yes, his babysitter has a higher career high than he does, and the babysitter's only in the second year.
Yeah, he's very well. We're going to hear his very well aware of that number. You're going to hear that coming up in his post-game chat. And he did a little bit of everything. He was so good at getting downhill, getting to the hoop, challenging the paint. And then, Dave, he raised the roof during the game. We've not seen that. I got a text right after that happened from our own Christopher Laud, said, "Is that the first raise the roof since Chris Webber?"
Yeah, and it was like it wasn't your classic like early 2000s raise the roof. I if I remember correctly, I don't think his arms were completely, it was like a push instead of a dual push at the same time. I could be wrong if I remember that, and I'm all for it. I say not only should we bring back raise the roof, But more importantly, I think it's time, as everything is cyclical, everything makes a comeback. Can we bring back the woof woof from Arsenio Hall, please?
No.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
Not the woof woof. I thought you were going to say the give me 10. Nobody does that anymore.
Oh, instead of give me 5?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're saying, like bring back where you hold both hands out in front of you, or above
either
you?
up high with the double hand, or kind of like waist level, chest level, and someone comes in and
that's definitely a late 80s, early 90s NBA thing.
Yeah, it might have even been earlier than that. Like it's a long time ago. So
I'm like picturing Isaiah Thomas doing it for some reason,
like an emphatic one, just with Joe Dumars, and just like
It sounds like Chris is dead set against bringing back the oh.
Yeah, he didn't. He said a quick no.
Wow.
Like that was no.
I think tonight you do that if there's a great moment at the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy.
Yes. Yes. Right in the middle of Telltale Heart. Just bust out with your Telltale Heart flavored drink and just go, I love this. You got the
Ironically, I rewatched because of the passing of Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is such a funny movie.
It is.
And in it, I completely forgot about that when they had the whole like outdoor scene and then everyone going, oof, 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 oof.
Well, and whenever I think of Raise the Roof, unfortunately, like everybody has, what is the first thing you think about with Raise the Roof? And for some weird reason, my first thought always when it comes to raising the roof is the Waste Management Open.
Yes. That's exactly what I think.
Is it really?
Why am I not thinking of it?
Okay, Jason, this is fantastic. When Tiger Woods hits the hole in one, and he's walking down, and the crowd's going wild, and he's like one-handedly looking at the crowd, emphatically raising the roof, and people talk about the greatness of Tiger Woods all the time. What they never talk about enough, and there's got to be a compilation out there, is that Tiger Woods is the worst high-fiver in sports history. You can go back to the In Your Life chip at the Masters. He never is able to sync up with his caddy ever on high fives. It always ends up being this weird stick shift patty cake, me at a wedding trying to dance to a fast song looking thing. But then simultaneously, Tiger Woods maybe has the greatest emote in the history of sports with that circular fist pump that he does. So we know there's something there.
You know what's great, Dave, is I watched it. So as soon as I started the clip of it, now I knew exactly what you and Chris were talking about. But the greatest thing about it is in the clip, this is 35 seconds. He hits the hole in one. He also has a super awkward high five with somebody's caddy in the group.
No,
I don't think it's his. So it happens there, and then he kind of almost looks like he does a woof woof woof.
Yes,
and then there's the one-handed raise the roof.
He went through the breakdown. We could spend a whole hour on this. The breakdown of this video is amazing. And Jason, one of the things they should actually do one of those ESPN 30 for 30s on is go back to the video and watch it. You mentioned the caddy, but he completely this is all right in front of Ricky Fowler, who I believe this is a young, long-haired Ricky Fowler. And I think at one point he almost takes Ricky's arm off with the over-emotive high five. And I honestly think that was the beginning of the downturn for Ricky Fowler's game itself. I think Tiger Woods broke a metacarpal in Ricky Fowler at the Waste Management Open.
Wow.
You see Ricky in that video?
That's a pretty good. I couldn't tell that was him.
That was Ricky. It's Ricky with the long hair and the hat. Or no, wait, you know what? I might be mixing up Tiger's shot. You know what? I might be mixing up Tiger's shot at the Memorial where he did the big flop and it came down.
Because I think he's high-fiving Fluff.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. I'm mixing the two of them up. He broke Ricky at the Jack Nicklaus tournament. Anyway, we talk about the evolution of sports all the time and how athletes today better than athletes of before. I also think celebrations have become better because just imagine in the 1960s, imagine if, I don't know, Wilt Chamberlain busted out a 12-step high five with one of his teammates, it would break the world.
Yeah. It would have broken the internet without the internet being started.
We were supposed to do De'Aaron Fox audio here, weren't we?
Yeah.
Should we do that later? I know we're like 4 minutes over break here.
Oh, then that's probably true.
Yeah, we just got really excited with.
Yeah, that was exciting though.
Well, and the fact that Chris,
he knew right away.
He knew right away where
I was expecting you to say something else, and I'm like, no, Tiger Woods when he got the hole-in-one.
Right. Like, I honestly thought the Chiefs stood alone there. Shout out Tiger Woods and his incredibly awkward celebrations. We'll get to De'Aaron Fox's post game coming up in a bit. When we come back, Sam Amick of The Athletic will join us for a especially long segment. Maybe we'll ask him about his favorite sports celebrations of all time. I know this. I celebrate massively. I do the woo, woo, woo. I raise the roof. I do the 9-step, not 10, but 9-step handshake hug with my son. We've got a whole thing worked out every single time we order fire wings. And yesterday was Wing Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings. But they got deals all week long, whether it's one of or two of or 12 of the 21 different flavors Fire Wings offers. Whether it's their hot fire Nashville chicken sandwich, whether it's their amazing ramen noodles, the garlic fries. I mean, even their sides are elite. Fire Wings is just elite chicken wings. Soaked in buttermilk all night long, so they are juicy and tender, just like Chris. Breaded Malaysian curry. I've told you before, that's my jam, but you can get pretty much any flavor you want, including the award-winning peanut butter. Go to firewings.com, locally owned and operated. Find the location nearest you. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings. Just wing it. Speaking of tender and juicy, Sam Amick of The Athletic joins us next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sacktown Sports at SacktownSports.com.
At LL Floyd, we've been a trusted partner to pros for over 30 years. With over 400 nationwide warehouses full of in-stock, job-ready inventory, you'll get what you need. And our exclusive pro pricing means that pros never pay retail. Because at LL Floyd, all we do is floors. So we're going to do it right. Sign up for a free pro account today to start getting pro benefits.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, before we get to Sam, you can text us at 916-339-1140. Couple of Kings fans letting us know that De'Aaron Fox raised the roof in Oklahoma City after a windmill dunk last year, so maybe he is trying to bring it back. Dave wants to bring back raising the roof in jorts. Yeah. MC noting that the Cabbage Patch and Running Man get no love anymore. I agree with that. And, Jason, who of us hasn't? Longtime listener Brian letting us know that he's about to head out for a 100-mile bike ride. You guys have a good day.
I think that's what Sam already did this morning.
Yeah, I think so. Look at him. No glasses, no hat. He's all ready to go at 8 a.m. What a fine, they say people get in radio or journalism because they're not made for TV. Well, you can take that stereotype and throw it out the window. The dapper, debonair Sam Amick from The Athletic joining us. Good morning, pal.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, whose idea was Zoom and radio? Like the worst mix of all time. Let us live.
Right? Yeah. Let us live. Let us raise the roof in private.
What's up, guys? Nice to see you, Dave. I'm glad you're feeling better, buddy. That sounded pretty brutal.
It did. In fact, I remember when you called me to check in on me. That was a pretty emotional conversation.
I texted you.
Sam, he's got a bat in the house. He's not okay right now.
Brother,
hold on. Nobody who wants COVID wants a phone call. Like you're.
It's a good point.
I don't know if you're awake. I don't know.
It's a good point.
Your energy level.
Sam, it's just been a while. I got a lot saved up. But I do have a bat in the house. That is the truth. You remember the rat about 5 years ago?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're like the wrong kind of nature animal guy here.
Did you know that rabies, if you get symptoms, is almost 100%? It's like 99% fatal. Like, did you know that? I didn't know that till yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
So what's the danger of rabies with this little vampire in your house?
Well, it says if you get scratched or bit, like obviously get the shots, but it also says like legitimately, I'm not making a joke. It's like, but if you have a bat in the house and you're a heavy sleeper, like you can get it through mucous membranes. So maybe it like they're implying like it lands on your face or something or brushes up against you. Now we're pretty sure that the bat left yesterday, but I'm sitting here still as a dad because I was not home during the whole thing. I was on my way home with Mason. The girls were here, and I'm sitting here going, God, do they go get raped? Even though like there was no contact. Like do you just go get the shot just to be sure?
I mean, if it's 99%, I think the answer is probably yes.
Yes.
As a side note that you just made me think of, I'm not normally like I've become more of a napper as I've gotten older. I'll take naps, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty confident that I have the type of like, if the, what do you call it? Just to block the sun out, the eye shade thing. I have the type that you would never purchase after this experience. My eye shade is in the shape of a bat.
What?
I don't know. My wife bought it at one point. It looks like, and I put it on, and it's like it looks like Batman. But it would give you PTSD at this point.
I think it would. Plus an eye shade. And Jason, I see people wearing these on the plane and stuff. I don't know.
Hotel thing for me. If I would travel and you'd be in this hotel where the windows don't have blackout curtains, and I mean, again, first world problems, but when we cover games till 2 a.m, sometimes you want to get a little sleep in the afternoon to charge up. So that was the inspiration for it. But the bat thing would probably just give you nightmares.
All right, Jason, back to you.
Back to you, Sam. The news that I don't know, about an hour ago, I know, Dave, this kind of broke, was about Karl Anthony Towns. Let's start with that injury. Obviously significant in the big picture. The year the T-Wolves have had, it's relatively new news, but I don't know what you can share on that and maybe what the T-Wolves are looking at with this injury.
So I will yield to my friend and colleague, John Krasinski, who covers the Timberwolves very closely and very well. It seems as if Karl and the team are trying to get clarity on treatment, clarity on, time. I for sure think that he's going to miss time. I mean, this is one of those weird ones where admittedly, Shams broke it and identified the injury as a torn meniscus, and then ESPN had indicated that it was a meniscus injury and almost acted as if he might not miss time.
What was that?
It's my rude son yelling in the background. Sorry.
Oh, okay, I got you. That's fine.
Just kidding. Love you, kid. So, he's going to miss time. I don't know how much, but for a team that has been, living kind of the Cinderella life this year and playing so well, and Carl being an all-star and a huge part, not only of their team, but an offense that has been one of their weak spots, the idea of them losing a guy like that, who's second on the team in scoring and who's had a very good year is pretty bad.
Well, and the other injury, let's be honest, not as possibly earth-shaking in the world of the NBA as Karl Anthony Towns, but almost within minutes of each other, the announcement that Ben Simmons will also miss the rest of the season, a nerve impingement in his back. And I hate to say it, Sam, I know the Ben Simmons jokes fly all over the place. I've never particularly liked that. We talked about this earlier. I always felt like he was a little bit bullied. But we're now getting, and I 100% not making light of this, but almost like Brandon Roy category, where we're starting to look at this guy in Ben Simmons, who no doubt is ridiculously talented, but you're starting to wonder, Sam, if this guy's ever going to be able to physically get it together and get back even to where he was before.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more. And I was looking down at my phone to confirm his age, 27 years old. I feel for him. Like you said, he's become a punchline just in the online basketball NBA community. But, you go back to the Nets days where they were counting on him and waiting on him and hoping that he was going to be part of a title contender, in Philly before that. It's been a brutal 4 or 5 year stretch, and big picture, bigger than basketball, I guess. I do feel for a guy who, was the number one pick and whose identity is completely wrapped up in this being what his life and career were going to look like. And as that door continues to close, way premature in terms of what he thought it was going to be, what does that look like? I mean, that's not to go too deep again, but it's funny lately. I've just had a lot of conversations with players and people around the game about that concept, about whether you're 27 or you're Klay Thompson at 34, just that idea of guys or women's, vision of their career, any sport, whatever, just falling well short of what they expected and what that does to them as people, no matter what their bank account might look like. So that's kind of where my head goes with Ben, is that, this is just a very long haul where he has been letting the basketball world down, so to speak. And I'm sure that's not easy.
Sam Amick from The Athletic joining us, as he does each and every Thursday at this time. Sam, obviously we've been spending a lot of time on the Kings. The constant up and down, the stops and starts kind of have been the characterization of this season. A couple nights ago, as rough of a loss as you can imagine at home, up 22, losing that one to the Bulls. And then last night down early and completely turning that game around and continue to show their control over the Lakers. We kind of do our week-to-week check-in on what you think about the Kings, but this roller coaster continues. But what do you think about what's gone on here lately with Sacramento?
Yeah, I mean, I the roller coaster part, I think this might have been on your guys' show, but somebody made me laugh the other day where they said, well, roller coasters are fun. Dave, that might have been you. Yeah. And it's, and this for Kings fans is not.
Thank you for listening, by the way. Thank you for listening.
Active
Appreciate
listening.
That. Yeah, that's nice.
I think it was YouTube too. I was trying to make sure you guys looked okay. You know what I mean?
It's you.
Yeah, the roller coaster continues. Admittedly, I didn't watch that one very closely. I was at the Warriors Bucks game last night. But I mean, you look at the box and De'Aaron's dropping 44 and Domas got a triple double, and Kings fans, I'm sure, by the way, enjoyed yet again the subplot of Sabonis getting the best of Anthony Davis. But then it's like, okay, then why are you, dropping the game to the Bulls the other day? And then how is it going to look tonight against San Antonio without Wemby? It's funny. This will not make Kings fans feel better, but Warriors fans are going through a little bit of the same exact thing. Like last night when they Now, granted, Warriors are on a better stretch, but when they took it to the Bucks last night, there were jokes in the press room about, okay, how many are they going to lose to the Bulls by tonight? They have Chicago in town. So that's partly just kind of how the West is right now. The parity, Dave, your face cracked me up. Sorry. Noises on the computer.
Yeah. Sorry. ADD. Go ahead.
You're good. I've really got to learn how to mute Slack while we talk. Podcast planning is happening at the moment, in case you wondered. So, Kings they're talented. They can beat anybody. And objectively, since I don't have any rooting interest, I think they're going to be incredibly interesting, assuming they get into the postseason, which is not enough. They got to be careful not to get uninvited to that party, but they're going to be really interesting because they actually could beat, a Minnesota or an Oklahoma City in a first round matchup. If the matchup fell that way, but they could also lose to anybody.
Yeah. And Sam joining us. That is very realistic to see coming, that the hot take du jour, and I'm not making fun of it, it's actually a good take. It's a very accurate take, but it will be the hot take du jour at this rate. It's going to be, they'll do all the previews of all the Bostons and Milwaukees and Minnesotas and Oklahoma Cities and Denvers. And then there's going to be the sleeper team. And Sacramento's going to end up being the sleeper team du jour, and it's going to show, this is a record against, the top opponents in the West, and they lead in the road wins and da-da-da-da-da. And it's a good place, I guess, to be in a sense. It'd just be nice if half the fan base didn't have to, be wearing a neck brace from the whiplash we've had all year. You lose to a Jimmy Butler-less Miami. You beat the Clippers in LA, and then you lose to the Bulls without Zach LaVine, and then you beat the Lakers in LA, and Milwaukee on the road blowing that lead. I mean, people listen to the show know I could list off 20. This is just the most, what did we say earlier, Jason? Predictably unpredictable Kings team I remember.
Yeah, and I think, the tweet, again, maybe you, Dave, somebody, but like the unpredictability being the only predictable part.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And it's disappointing, I'm sure, for Kings fans, because even though they lost to the Warriors in the first round last year, I think there was certainly some pride in the fact that, like, wow, they not only got in the playoffs, but they were a third seed, and you felt like, job well done. You still have to tip your cap to what they did last season in the regular season. You can say you accomplished something, and that cannot be taken away. Now, this regular season, if it ends the way that it looks like it likely will, with them either in the play-in, or sneaking in as a 6, is going to have a different vibe to it. And then, of course, the hypothetical comes in. Like, guess what? I bet you Kings fans get over it if they win a first-round matchup. But that is the reality. The West it's cliche, but it's true a lot of years. The West is wild. Yeah. And once you get past, even those top 2 teams are incredibly gettable. And now with the Towns injury, the Clippers falling off a bit, the Nuggets are still the Nuggets, but there's just there's a lot of teams that are on the same level.
Sam, one guy that continues to put up great numbers, and I know, do you have a vote for Sixth Man of the Year?
I do. Yep.
Okay, I don't know where, you don't have to tell us who you're picking if you want. But
yes, yeah.
Oh, I guess you do. But Malik Monk certainly is making his case, and maybe it's a 2-part thought here, is where you think he ranks among that. And secondly, yesterday we talked to John Ireland, the Lakers voice, and he basically told Dave and I how much they enjoyed him. The Lakers loved him, but they got to a spot where they couldn't pay him, and Sacramento swept in and got him. I'm a little concerned about Malik's future here, just because of some limitations the Kings will have, and him being a free agent. I could picture not only his year he's having, he might win Sixth Man of the Year, that he is going to be a hot commodity in the free agent market. What do you think that'll look like for Malik?
Yeah, that is where, again, the Kings story gets trickier in the summer, because he would have, I think, a lot of suitors. He's a hell of a scorer. Reminds me of Jamal Crawford, a guy who obviously might as well have the 6-man statue, etched with his name on it. That being said, I wonder from a voting standpoint, if in fact he's going to win it. I heard him the other day speaking super confidently about how he thought he had it wrapped up. I know he's around 15 plus points a game. Am I accurate there?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
but the one thing I think voters, for better or worse, have shifted the way they look at six man. And I don't think it's funny. Like once Jamal won it, I think his record is 4 times. It was almost as if there was this voter backlash where, in that community of which I'm obviously a part, that there was this sense of like, okay, we got to look a little bit deeper than just the guy who scores the most off the bench. And it shouldn't just be a bucket getter. And the other day, and maybe I'm looking at something that's more anecdotal than reflective of the whole voting base, but I listened to a podcast that I enjoy and it was pretty in depth with Nate Duncan and Danny LaRue. And, it's a good listen if people have interest, but they gave their 6-man votes. And if I remember correctly, it was like, man, Malik got 1 third place vote out of those 2 guys. And I forget exactly who they had up top, but some of the usual suspects with Norm Powell and Bobby Portis. And I mean, there was even an Al Horford mention in there, which, so I don't know. I feel like it could be kind of wide open. If you look at it from a conventional standpoint, Malik for sure fits that profile. And because I live here, I see it all the time. And yes, to me, when you have a guy who can go literally give you 40 on a night when your franchise centerpiece is off, like they've had a handful of those nights when Fox wasn't feeling it and Malik saved the day. I mean, he ultimately could be the guy I vote for. I haven't broken it down just yet, but I think he's in the running for sure.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Sounds like someone's not voting for Malik Monk right now. By the way, we talked about this yesterday. Amazingly enough, and I know this obviously has nothing to do, or certainly should have nothing to do with your vote or anyone else's, but Sam, I think he's the front runner for the 6th man of the year. I'm obviously Purple Glass is super biased. What I was surprised to learn, though, is I went and looked at a combination of odds from most of your major bookies out there. And not only is Malik Monk favored to win 6th man, but just a brief explanation for those who aren't bettors, you would have to bet $340 to win $100. He's minus 340. The runners up, Norman Powell, Bobby Portis, and Karis LeVert, plus 1,000, meaning if you bet $100, you'd win $1,000. Now, again, for those who aren't really, big time gambler folk, those are massive. Like, to say that he is a massive Vegas favorite to win 6th man, that surprised me. And I don't necessarily disagree with you, by the way, that it shouldn't just be the guy who scores the most points. You got to look at everything. I do think 1 third place vote, though, that's rough acting to acting, dude. Well, and full disclosure, that particular podcast is incredibly deep on analytics. And I don't say that as any pejorative at all. That's actually why I loved the heck out of it, because they really dove in the numbers. One of them had, my memory's failing me, but one of them had Bogdan Bogdanovic, number 1, which admittedly surprised me. And I'm not, to be fair, I know you're just kidding around. I'm not saying I won't vote for Malik. I'm admitting like I need to dive in and do the research beyond the fact that holy ass, Malik is pretty good off the bench. Like I see that all the time. I know that. But the other thing that I think is actually an interesting conversation kind of more broadly is the fact that part of my cynicism about Malik getting it is that this Kings season has kind of become the one where everybody is very comfortable overlooking everything they do. It just is. You know what I mean? Like Sabonis not making the All-Star team, the discussion about where they are in the West, the record, as you guys know, is actually not that far off from where it was last year, but the optics are such that, nationally or kind of even globally, the idea is that they are falling well short of expectation. And when that happens, it's the opposite effect of what they experienced last year. Like before I jumped on today, you guys had the drop talking about Mike Brown, coach of the year, and they gave us this and they gave us that. Well, like the idea right now is that they haven't actually given that much, but part of that is the way they get talked about. And with all that in mind, I could see people seeing Malik on the ballot and being like, oh no, it's a negative year for the Kings, so we'll see.
Yeah, it just shows you too. I mean, I guess it's back to what we've kind of talked about in general. Sam, you're right. I did look at it. They're just 1 game off of last year. So they're 35-26. Last year at this time, they're 36-25. We know the difference. They were 3rd, but also not only were they 3rd, the rest of the West wasn't nearly this good. So, I mean, if the Kings are 7th, Or let's go to the bottom. The Lakers are 10th. They're 4 games above 500. I mean, that would have put them, closer to about that 5th spot at this time last year. So just the group overall is better, yet the Kings have roughly the same record. But you're right. They're looked at completely differently this year, even though you could make the argument if we all agree the league is that much better and they're right there, why wouldn't that mean they were a better team? But I get why people don't, because of back to the roller coaster theme we've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that last point is valid, Jay, because, I mean, if tougher competition and you're still staying even is not a bad thing. And if you're a Kings fan and you don't, like Dave, who, stresses out so much over this stuff, like if you don't want to lose any sleep, just take solace in the fact that, like, they're hanging in there and they have a year of playoff experience under their belt. And conceivably that could mean that things might go a little bit better this time around when they hit that stage. Like, you don't know, but that world does exist where you look back on this year and go, man, they actually, like, they kind of kept the momentum going and then something good happened in the playoffs. I mean, that is possible, even if the optics and the conversation around them right now is, so largely negative.
Sam Amick joining us. I do stress out about this stuff, and it is weird because ultimately,
you gave yourself COVID, probably just worried about
exactly.
And maybe rabies. We don't know yet.
Yes.
Sam Amick joins us. They are 1 game off of last year, and the emergence of the Oklahoma Cities and the Minnesotas have been quite interesting to watch. And I want to ask you about Oklahoma City. I read an article yesterday that compared Oklahoma City favorably at this point to the beginning of the Golden State Warriors dynasty. And whether you agree with that or not, I thought it was incredibly interesting. I'm in love with Sam Presti. I have been forever, Sam. And are you watching, like me and a lot of others, over these next few years, and how interesting it will be? You have a small market team that arguably has the best combination of roster and stockpile of any other team in the NBA, including the Celtics, to see just exactly how the cap and how the financial constraints of the NBA work with this squad, and if they'll, I shouldn't say be allowed, but I'll say it, you know what I mean, be allowed to win a championship in OKC.
I am. I mean, first of all, I'm just concerned that I'm not your favorite Sam anymore. I mean, the love letter
He's my favorite NBA Sam.
He's done a great job. I mean, honestly, the idea that you lose Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden before that, and then, turn it into this. I might have shared this story on the show before, but it was around this time a year ago, maybe 14 months, where I had a note indicating that rival teams of the Thunder, were increasingly hopeful that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would be tired of the losing and ultimately be available. And rest assured, I was given a lot of grief by the Thunder for that reporting. Now, that was the case, but, they had more confidence in what the future looked like than I did and what other teams did. And they certainly are getting the last laugh now because he is the center of a pretty special thing out there. And I don't know where it's all going because, eventually you have to pay the Jalen Williams and the Shays and the Chet Holmgrens and all the way down the line. But they have got optionality for days. They have a draft cupboard that is more full than anybody in the NBA. And I'm happy about it from the small market standpoint. And Kings fans should be too, because it's another little story where it says it doesn't matter if you're in Chicago or New York. But, we'll see where it goes. The thing, I don't ever remember having a franchise that had the ability to go out and get a star player of really any caliber, but that actually has to be pretty careful, I think, to make the wrong move, because what they have now in the here and now is so special. So again, good problems to have, very good team, but the playoffs, I think, are going to dictate their story and what they do next.
I think, Sam, they're the one of the few teams that, when people say, oh, people are untradeable, I think everybody is if the price is right. I think OKC would have the young talent on their roster and the future draft assets to honestly get anybody. The question is, to your point, would it be the right move? Yeah,
because how many superstar trades have we seen, in the last 10 years that just didn't pan out the way that people thought? I think if all was right in the NBA world, the league should give the Thunder like a one-time cap boost to make up for the way they lost Kevin Durant to the Warriors, if you guys remember. And I know you do, you know, like the TV rights deal kicking in right when Kevin Durant was a free agent was the number one reason that the Warriors got him. And the Thunder probably would have lost him anyway, but that was a tough pill for them to swallow at that point. And, you know, again, that city and that market, if you have terrible Thunder basketball, that's a pretty miserable sports market. You know, they have Oklahoma college sports nearby, and that matters. But the Thunder have been become the lifeblood of the city sports wise for quite some time now. And I'm pleasantly surprised that is back, even after all those future Hall of Famers have left.
Sam, we're up against it. I wanted to ask you this, knowing you were coming on today. I'll leave the name out of it. You may or may not know who. It's not from basketball, but a prominent journalist said earlier this week, I think it was on a TV show, he was talking about how in each sport there's your go-tos for the contract, trades, newsbreakers. We all know who those are. And he said, quote, when agents send a group text to all the folks who are clamoring to be the first ones to win the thumb race to Twitter with the details, the reporters don't ask questions. They don't push back, because you know what happens when you push back? I found out you don't get those texts anymore. Now, as somebody who's at the highest levels of sports reporting, do you think there's validity to that quote?
Who said or wrote that again, Dave?
It was Mike Florio. I was leaving the name out just to not put you in a spot, but it was Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk who said that.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to press there.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I would say generally, I mean, yes. And, you know, we always have these media discussions, and I will be honest and candid because I'm allowed to be at this point in my career. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I'm relieved to not have any pressure to keep up on that part of the industry anymore. Certainly not going to, you know, speak about our operation, but the news breaking thing in general, like, yeah, if you, I mean, let's say you get the group text, hey, 5 for 35 million for so-and-so, no player option, you know, right back. Why didn't you get a player option? Like,
right. Right.
There's no, like, what happened with this? What happened? Like, no, just, there is, I think, I mean, that there's a communication line that is either going to be open or it's not. And yes, I mean, agents, teams, PR people, control is just a massive theme when it comes to media coverage. People constantly trying to control either the information. And that's why a lot of times you'll see 7 years for 90 million. And then you'll find out it's actually 7 for 72. With a bunch of unlikely bonuses, but it got reported that way initially. It might get cleaned up on the back end, but the agent got what they wanted for their own publicity purposes, which is a moment where players around the league said, oh man, 90 million, good job. So yeah, I mean, that's part of it. And part of the thing I've enjoyed about this job the last 6 years is like navigating within all that and not caring. And I mean, yeah, you piss a lot of people off along the way. You get uninvited from group texts. But you know, we are here to actually tell the fans and the readers what's really happening. So that should remain the focus.
And that's why we love him. That's why he is my second favorite basketball Sam Amick of the Athletic. We always appreciate you coming on each and every week, friend. And we'll talk to you next week.
All right, Batman. Thank you, Jay.
Wow. Thank you. In my head all day. Thank you. That's Sam Amick. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got post-game reactions galore. We still got to clean up De'Aaron Fox's post-game from earlier. We've also got the G-Man with Trey Lyles, Malik Monk as well. We'll see how many we can get to right here in your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush. Makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Thousands of years ago, ancient civilizations used leather for water skins, armor, and sandals. Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Today, leather is one of nature's most luxurious products. The combination of leather with beautifully designed furniture creates an end product that adds luxury and sophistication to any room. During Naturewood Home Furnishings leather sale, you'll find their considerable selection of leather is flexible, breathable, natural, and maybe most important, comfortable. Whether you're a relaxed contemporary kind of person or you're more classic leather, Naturewood Home Furnishings has color choices and styles to fit your home. In fact, I doubt any store can beat Naturewood's selection. During Naturewood's leather sale, all leather furniture is on sale for a limited time. Sit, enjoy the comfort of leather at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by California Army National Guard, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and RVs of Sacramento.
National Ping Club Fitter of the Year, Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is introducing the straightest, most forgiving Ping driver ever with the new Ping G430 Max 10K driver. A fixed back weight, Ping's largest head profile, and a carbon fly wrap crown help G430 Max 10K launch the ball higher with less spin for consistently longer and straighter results. Schedule your fitting and see for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue to Cap City Freeway, or online at HagenOaks.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
One ticket, two shows, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, travel trailers, pontoon boats, fifth wheel, personal watercraft and ATVs, toy haulers, fishing boats, motorhomes, and more. One massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. March 7th through 10th. Find discounts at twohugeshows.com.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at KiaVacaville.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Here comes Fox back quickly. Going to the rack again, and the Lakers cannot stop him. De'Aaron Fox coming to life big time here in this third quarter. Now has 28 game-high points, and the Kings lead it 87-68. Breakaway, steal, Fox again with a flush. Darvin Ham calls timeout. Fox pushing his hands upward, saying, let's raise the roof here at the crypt. It gets boos from Laker fans. It gets cheers from Vivek Ranadive, who's on his feet at midcourt.
And we're back. My fault. Welcome back. Carmichael, Dave, Jason Ross, Chris Verlad. A little groovy here after a Kings victory. It's always a great day after a Kings win over the Lakers anytime, much less in L.A. Whitey Gleason, our esteemed colleague, had a question yesterday asking if it was okay to wear a 2002 Western Conference Finals shirt on the day of the game. I'd say emphatically no. Why would you want to be reminded of that? It's like going to the site of your worst memories ever. But I was very happy that there were quite a few replies in this mention saying as long as you don't bury it. That's a very inside joke for many of you. Jason, as the airplane people say, you call the ball here. We got quite a bit of post game to get to. Go for it.
All right, let's hear from the man we played the highlight from, De'Aaron Fox. He joined the TV crew of Kyle Draper and Katie Christensen after the big win.
44 points for you tonight. We'll get into you tying your career high. But what turned for this team from this first quarter to the second quarter?
I think what Davion and what Keon brought for us tonight was great. I mean, at halftime, I told him, man, y'all changed the game defensively. And then obviously Davion making shots, 4 for 4 from 3 to start. Obviously, that type of offense won't happen every night. I mean, nobody shoots like that every night, but what they brought for us defensively definitely changed the game in that first half.
I got to ask you, De'Aaron, I know that was a heartbreaking loss against Chicago at home, but you have to turn around and quickly you go on the road, you face LA, and this is an important game in the sense of the Western Conference and how the playoffs are going to shake out. After that first quarter, when you guys stumbled a little bit, got a little stunned, what was the message going into the second quarter, and how did everyone respond in terms of the challenge to put that behind and move forward?
I mean, stay the course. Obviously, a 36-point quarter for anybody is a lot of points, and for us, we knew that we had to be able to lock down defensively, and we did that. That second quarter, we only gave up 20 points, and I think that's where the game changed for us.
How about you, man, tonight, tying your career high 44? Were you aware of that? Did you want to go for 45, 46 tonight?
Didi said it was my fault because I didn't shoot that 3 in transition. I'm like, man, we trying to waste some time right now. And then obviously I missed the pull-up at the end, but I'm like, man, I can't get over that 44 hump.
Right.
That's plagued me for some years now, and I keep hitting it, but I can't get over it.
I feel so sorry for you, De'Aaron, that you can't get over that 44 hump. But no, one more question for you. I thought a big difference in this game was your guys' ability, led by you, obviously, to get into the paint tonight. I mean, 76 points in the paint. That is a huge number to be able to put up. Can you talk about your guys' focus of how you attack defenses by hurting them in the interior first?
Yeah, I think first it starts with transition. I think we got a few layups. Obviously, that'll boost the points in the paint, but we just stayed aggressive. We tried to get downhill, and we made plays. Malik was big for us. Obviously, I'm coming down and just trying to be able to make a play either for myself or for others. And Domas came alive in the second half, so that was huge for us. And as long as we can stay aggressive, that's when free throws come, and that's when threes become easier.
All right, De'Aaron, great stuff tonight, man. We'll see you back at the crib tomorrow against the Spurs. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like how they called him out for the being afraid of 45.
That's right.
Good problem to have, though.
A great problem to have. And he can still chase it. Keep chasing it, De'Aaron.
Keep chasing it, De'Aaron. Just, you know what? I think that's actually a really good ongoing bet. And I feel like it's going to happen sometime this year or next year. Who will be the first to score 50? Will it be De'Aaron Fox? Will it be Malik Monk? Or will it be Keegan Murray?
I would lean Fox, but yeah.
I think Fox would be the favorite, but I think your pause is the same as mine and anyone else's. Like, legit, kind of like what we saw the other night. If Malik gets hot enough early enough, there is no question he can lay a 50 burger down.
Right.
No question.
And let me double check this. In the Sacramento era, yeah, there's only three players that have ever done it, and it's happened 4 times in 30. This is the 39th season.
Let me see if Tony Delk.
No, by the Kings.
Oh,
that happened against the Kings as a former King, which was one of the most random 50s ever.
Chris Webber.
He did it once in an overtime game.
Did Kmart ever do it?
He did in an overtime game. He had 50. Webber had 51.
Peja?
Nope.
I didn't think Peja did it. I don't think Bibby did.
Come on.
Really?
Come on, Dave.
Oh, DeMarcus.
Twice. Yeah, 55 and 56.
I'm not going to lie. DeMarcus was pretty good when he was good.
Yes.
It's my hot take.
Hottest of takes.
We still have Trey Lyles. We've got Coach Mike Brown. We've got Malik Monk. And coming up next, we have a 3 in the key to recap, a 3 in the key to bust out on you for tonight, and who's hot, who's not. We've got a big, giant, packed final hour 15, including a crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. We'll get all that, including your winner of the Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game, when we get back right here on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. Stockton Honda.com.
Based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company, Zolban Report.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
The Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
The second quarter, the Kings scored 44 points, shooting 78.3% from the field, including going 8 of 10 from behind the arc. They went ahead and beat the Lakers last night.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. They beat them beat their butts down at the crypto place again.
Well said.
Thank you. Or do we call it that, guys? Or should we? Are we at the point where we can call it Golden One Center South?
Yeah, I heard Light the Beam chants.
Yeah, you know what? Weirdly enough, not as it wasn't as loud as it was for the Clippers game.
Right.
But
I do like that the Lakers and Clippers fans argue with each other over who says Light the Beam the most when they're at the home team.
There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I saw that too. They're posting screenshots and videos from each game. I mean,
yeah,
that's the best part of winning, right? Lighting the beam.
How about this entry from a chatter from Philip? Golden 2 Center.
Ooh. Well, yeah, okay.
All right.
Also sounds innuendish, but hey, that's just
gross.
Who's not?
Los Angeles Lakers. They scored only 20 points in the second quarter. They shot 2 of 10 in the final 7 minutes and 45 seconds of the second quarter and were outscored 32-9 during that time frame.
Wow, that is terrible. That is.
I found the place your life is going, in the garbage.
I mean, it is fantastic. It is great. It is wonderful. And I'm not going to lie. I'm really trying. You guys, we're almost 3 hours into the program. And I want to pat myself on the back here. I'm really trying to be disciplined today.
While you're about to counter what you've been good about all day.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, it's a look at me moment. I really want to. I've been very disciplined today in trying to focus on the now and the fact that it was a big win and everything went great, and not focus on how subconsciously angry it makes me when I see them performing like that last night. And I really try my best not to sit there and go, where's this against the Bulls? You know, and wow, that freaked my dog out.
Are you going to be the guy if they win a championship and they win in 6? You're like, they could have won this in 5.
No.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Are you sure?
No, the closest I would get to that, and I'm just being transparent here as always. The closest I would get to that, Jason Ross, is if we're doing like our post-mortem wrap up a week later. You know, the blood pressure has subsided a little bit. We're way deep in, like, we haven't moved on to other things yet, but we're getting towards the end, maybe a week later. And I would say something like, you know, the only thing that would have been better is if they could have clinched it at home. Well, okay. That's about as far as I would go, but I feel like that's like, as a Giants fan, when they were winning their titles, they won all 3 on the road.
Yeah.
And I said that. I mean, look, I don't care if they win a championship in Abu Dhabi and we have to be up at 3 a.m. to watch it.
Hell, quite a road win.
Yeah, quite the road win. You'll light the beam out there, but you know, let's be honest. If the Kings are going to win a championship and you had a choice between them doing it on the road at home or Golden One Center, of course we're picking Golden One Center.
Sure.
So they better win it at home or they're failures.
Yes.
I'm done with it. Let's get to 3 in the key. Kings Lakers last night. And coming up, we'll do a San Antonio version for tonight in which Chris and I each get to pick categories.
Steelers' choice.
Very excited. In the meantime, let's see how we did last night, Jason Ross.
All right. Well, we went to that matchup where Sabonis was 8-0 all-time versus Anthony Davis. We now know that's 9-0. So we had the big man matchup. Dave, you said Sabonis would go 13-14-10 and AD 25-12-3. I said 17-13-8 for Sabonis 28, 16, and 3 for AD. Boy, we gave a lot of respect to him. And Chris said 18, 13, and 11 for Sabonis with 26, 14, and 5 for AD. The actual numbers, Sabonis, a triple-double, 16, 20, and 12. So you and Chris were both pretty close. Well, we all weren't far off there. And then AD, 14, 11, and 3. But I thought that was a bad 14, 11, and 3 for him.
Bad.
He's now
14.
0-9.
Stinky.
We asked, because the Kings had that big swing in the Bulls game, the largest lead the Lakers would have and the largest lead the Kings would have. Davey said 8 for the Lakers, 14 for the Kings. I said 9 for the Lakers, 16 for the Kings. And Chris said 11 Lakers, 14 Kings. It was actually 19 at one point for the Lakers, and the Kings turned it around and led by 22. It's a big swing. No one quite right on, but not far off. And lastly, random stat, Davey said Kevin Huerter would have 4 or more threes in the game.
Attempted.
He didn't even do that. He was 0 for 2.
Dang it.
Chris said that First Take wouldn't talk about the Lakers challenging for the West, but they actually did.
He did after losing. What is wrong with them?
Yes. They continue to do that every show. If they win, of course, are they major threats out of the West? Then I think today's question, Chris, was, are they still a threat? It's like, wait, so we established they were, and then they lost, so now we question it. And I said, I went low on these guys, but I got it right. So you guys blamed me for the loss the other day. I got my random stat right. Do I get credit for the win?
What was your random stat?
Hawks and Monk would combine for 50 or more. They had 70.
Random. I think you do.
Okay, good.
I'll give it to you.
It's allowed. I wanted to pat myself on the back.
You know what? We're fair here, Jason. If we're going to blame you for losses and jinxing, we have to give you credit for wins.
All right. I will accept both. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
All right. So, Dave, you ready to do a new one, improved three of the key for tonight?
I'm so ready, bro.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Dave, you get to pick the first category today.
The first category, the San Antonio Spurs are coming into Sacramento fresh off a huge win on the road for the Kings, and they're playing without their superstar. So my category question is this. What random San Antonio Spur out of nowhere will get closest to their career high in points scored?
Okay.
Because you know it's going to happen. It's going to be some dingleberry.
I don't think he's on the roster.
I will submit mine. I'm really, really, really tempted to go with Julian Champagny. It just sounds.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay, well, it just sounds like the guy that would do it. But I'm going to go with the bench player, Malachi Branham, out of Ohio State, averaging 8.7 points a game. And his career high, ladies and gentlemen, was 27 points last month, a year ago, February 10th, 2023. I think he's going to be the closest.
All right. I'm going to go with, I wouldn't say he's completely random, but someone that's going to have a big game. And if I'm looking back at his game log, his best game this year came against the Kings. He's going to do it again. Probably in a starting role today because of Victor being out. Zach Collins
good
will be my choice. He had 28 against the Kings earlier. Chris?
I'm taking Champagne, and apparently his most points is 26.
Against the Kings?
I don't think he'll get there, but it'll be close.
Okay.
There
you go. So the second category, Chris, you're going to get to choose this one.
I am going to say... I had an idea of it, but I should have wrote it down. I'm going to say, I know what I'm going to say. Bench points for the Kings and bench points for the Spurs.
Okay. Dave?
By the way, I was so tempted to take Sandro Mamukelashvili.
You should have.
But I didn't. Bench points for the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to say, guys, the San Antonio Spurs are going to have 46 bench points.
Okay.
And I will say the Sacramento Kings will have 38.
Okay. I'm going to say Spurs 29, Kings 46. Chris?
I've got Kings 48, Spurs 24.
Okay. And lastly, guys, random stat, Dave, something weird, something odd, something different that you expect to happen tonight.
You know what? Based on last night's game, I hate to say it, but this will be a random stat, something different than what we're used to lately. Mike Brown and his coaching staff will lose a challenge tonight.
After going 2-0.
They're undefeated in their last two.
Yeah.
But I think the streak ends tonight.
I'm going to say the Kings will never trail in the second half. I wanted to go wire to wire, but I'm not going to be bold enough there. Never trail in the second half. Chris?
Keegan is going to have 24 points or more tonight.
Ooh. Okay.
I hope Chris's is right maybe the most.
Yeah.
I mean, I like yours too.
What's terrible is I'm going to miss this game tonight.
Where are you going to be, Chris?
I'm going to be at the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy.
I think we need to put it all together. I think Chris needs to go to the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy, Dave with the bat on his shoulder.
Yes. Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy. How did we not make this like a station remote? Join Chris for
coming
live.
to you live. You're listening live.
Hey everybody. Hey, excuse me. I'm sorry. Hey everybody. It's Chris for live. About the Edgar Allan Poe. Come join me at the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy for themed drinks and Edgar Allan Poe. I just really want the report as to whether or not, I hope there are people doing Edgar Allan Poe monologues in like full costume.
All right, here's the question for you, Dave, because I think I know your answer. But Chris has his evening planned. I have my evening planned. If I offered you a ticket to sit right next to me to watch Kings and Spurs, or Chris offered you a ticket to sit right next to him to go to the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy, what are you picking?
And I have to. I can't say neither.
No, you have to pick one. You. This is your choice.
Honestly, I think I might surprise you here. I think just being able to watch Chris Verlaine.
No, that didn't surprise me. That's what I thought you'd pick.
Oh my goodness. Just to be able to observe Chris at this event would be so entertaining to me, especially if it gets awkward. Now, I guess the question I'll ask you, and coming up next, we got Mike Brown's post-game reaction. But Jason, if you could go to any form of themed speakeasy tonight, what would you pick?
Oh, I know Jason's.
Which one?
Fletch.
Oh, yeah. Fletch Speakeasy, where they're just different, impersonating different people all the time. Yeah, I'd be in for that.
And mine would be a West Wing speakeasy, followed closely by a Charles Schultz Peanuts themed speakeasy.
Really?
Come on, how fun would that be?
What about Smallville?
Ooh,
game changer.
But now you got me thinking maybe a supernatural one, like the TV show. I just like the idea of people dressing up as Snoopy in Woodstock, but kind of with you now. All right, we'll think about that during the break. What would your preferred themed speakeasy be? 916-339-1140. And if somebody out there has nothing to do tonight, I'm sure it wouldn't be too terribly difficult to figure out where and when this thing is, and you wanted to go out and report back to us on Chris tomorrow. I'm not suggesting that. Coming up next, Mike Brown post-game reaction right here on Sacktown Sports.
The Spurs visit Golden One Center tonight to face the Kings.
Gives it up to Fox, gets into the paint, reaches with the left hand, scores at the buzzer. What a finish for the Sacramento Kings.
Kings and Spurs tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Why?
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We love the game because anything can happen. There's no sure thing.
How did that go in?
Every play,
oh my goodness!
every shot,
Are you kidding me?
every swing, is a risk if you bet.
I can't believe that just happened.
There's no easy money. There's no luck. And no one wins all the time. If you bet, bet responsibly and always set a limit. Learn more at responsibleplay.org.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Ram Truck Month?
Right now, save up to $16,500 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Laramies. One of the nicest, most capable trucks you can buy with the biggest savings of the year. This is huge. And we have over 200 available.
So why choose Hoblet?
We do things a little different here at Hoblet. We're here to help you find the vehicle you need at the best possible price. That's why we don't have a bunch of dealer markups, surprise add-ons, or hidden fees. And we've become California's #1 new Ram truck dealer. At Hoblet, you'll get the small town experience with the big city savings and selection.
If you're looking for a truck, Hoblet should be your first and only stop. See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $16,500 total net savings after $10,500 factory rebates and $6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 case construction rebate. Must have purchased qualifying new case equipment from an authorized case dealer and $500 first responder bonus cash. Must be a member of qualifying first responder association. 10 at this net savings. See dealer for details.
Hey, Sacramento, get ready for a lineup that's not just hitting home runs, but delivering laughs and legendary tunes. It's the Sacktown Sports live events calendar, where entertainment takes center stage. First up, on March 22nd, get ready for a night of hilarity as the comic genius Hannibal Buress takes the spotlight at the historic Crest Theater. Get ready for a side-splitting evening that's a real game changer. And on March 23rd, the laughs keep coming with the one and only Dimitri Martin at the Crest Theater. It's a comedy doubleheader that's sure to score big with your funny bone. But wait, sports fans, the excitement doesn't end there. On August 4th, the Outlaw Music Festival rides into the Toyota Amphitheater, featuring legends like Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. It's a musical grand slam you won't want to miss. Keep the adrenaline pumping, Sacramento. Visit SacktownSports.com for all the details and ticket information. Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, your ultimate playbook for unforgettable nights and epic performances.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
You know, I know we got a lot to get to, but I did a deep dive during the break on this speakeasy thing Chris is doing, Jason.
Okay.
The Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy is a chilling experience dedicated to the stories of Edgar Allan Poe. The event takes place inside a dark speakeasy. 4 of his most famous stories will be retold and reimagined by Poe historians, if you will. The macabre lead mixologist will transform each of these stories into a 4-part cocktail experience. So, and I looked at the price, actually. A pretty good price considering you get 4 drinks and you.
That's what I was thinking.
You get a show. And then I was looking at the cocktails. So you got the Pale Blue Eye, which looks super cool. A refreshing light blue cocktail made with blueberry vodka, fresh lemon juice, rose syrup, and topped with LaCroix. The Cocktail of Red Death, a bright, vibrant cocktail made with 100 proof vodka, cherry herring, Benedictine liquor, lime juice, pineapple juice, and bitter. Sounds good except for the fishy they put in there. Twisted brandy milk punch, bourbon, French brandy mixed with vanilla cream, milk syrup, and half, topped with the star anise, and the Nevermore, a black and gold cocktail fueled by orange, peach, blossom, vodka, lime juice, and secret spices. So I expect they will come out, serve everyone the first cocktail that you drink with the first story, and then move on and on and on. I would hope that they have scientifically figured out the order so that you're not drinking, I hope you don't just have a terrible hangover either, which sounds like a bunch of mixed drinks there, Chris.
I should be fine.
Yeah,
He'll be ready.
Oh, and unfortunately, all the people that want to come to this with me and look at me or whatever, sold out.
Oh, really?
We're gonna know someone else in there. Someone.
There's gonna be somebody else. And lastly on this, also apparently this is I thought this was just like a bar having a good idea. This is like a nationwide thing. I guess they have groups because on the same. This goes on from the 7th to the 9th. Today to the 9th. Boy, we're giving them a great plug. But simultaneously, it's happening in Myrtle Beach. And then they tour Inland Empire, down south, Greensboro, North Carolina. So, you know what? As somebody who doesn't drink, but when I'm forced to like go hang with my wife while she and her friends do, I would opt for some entertainment while you're doing that. That's cool.
I'm looking forward, like you said, Dave, to the report tomorrow.
Yeah, my hopes are kind of up for you on this one, Chris.
I think this is my idea.
Now,
I wanted to go to this.
Are you going solo? Are you bringing? Are you going in a group with anyone? Is this a solo outfit? How are you doing this here?
I got a friend that's also into dark stuff, so.
Oh, you're into dark stuff?
Yeah.
You didn't know?
I didn't. I didn't know, like Ouija boards and stuff.
No, well, not like witchcraft, but like
I don't know. I mean, people
macabre.
Yeah. Have you ever been to New Orleans and done the graveyard tours?
I went to New Orleans as part of a summer Lutheran youth convention.
Why am I laughing? I don't know. That just doesn't sound like you did the graveyard tour.
I did not.
Okay.
There's no stopover?
Yeah.
What's that?
There was no stopover?
No.
Hey, everybody, let's go check this out.
Wow. Well, you should go back if you're into the.
Oh, I really want to go back.
Yeah. Well, it was macabre for the Lakers last night as they've watched a large lead get blown completely out of the water. Coach Mike Brown has had some tough post games he's had to do recently. I don't think last night was one of them. Jason has the clicker there. Here's Coach Mike after the game.
Well, the one thing is we knew it was early and there was a lot of basketball left. But, like I said, I thought JaVale, just his words, continue to say, hey, long game. We got to get a stop. Let's just string a couple of stops together and, get out and run. Just doing the things that we preached coming into the game. And our transition game we felt was really, really good, as well as our ability to crash the offensive glass. We only had 9, but we turned those 9 offensive rebounds into 13 second chance points. But like I said, the biggest thing was just us knowing there was a lot of game left, us not panicking at all, do a lot to our team. But I got to give JaVale a lot of credit with his words, saying the right stuff, and then us just finding the right combination out on the floor to be able to creep back into the thing.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, nicely done there. Mike Brown also, Dave, would add about another guy. So he said about JaVale McGee, who didn't even play in the game, was highlighting him, but a guy who did play and played well. Here's Mike Brown on Keon Ellis.
And doing all the little things, again, that don't show up in the stat sheet. Keon had 5 points, but he was a plus 17 in 14 minutes, and so you look at the box score and there's nothing overwhelming. He had 0 assists, 3 rebounds. There's nothing overwhelming, but he impacted the game in levels that, if you're not knowledgeable in basketball, you won't even understand.
It feels like the coaching staff is always into that kind of stuff. The other things, the deflections, just other little intangibles that can help you win a game, which is, I think is important in these things.
I agree, and I think it's exactly what he should be doing. Look, this is a team that knows how to score, knows how to rebound, knows how to pass the ball. But I think Mike recognizes correctly that it's the margins that make the difference for the Sacramento Kings, especially defensively. We've seen this, Jason. When they have active hands, you saw it with Malik Monk yesterday. I think he had 2 steals in the space of like 5 minutes where he's just grabbing the ball right out of the air. There was one where he stole the ball and just choo-chooed his way down and had a beautiful dish. Trying to do his best De'Aaron Fox impersonation. I think Mike recognizes that when this team is active in the passing lanes and they're active defensively, they're diving on the floor, they're doing all that stuff, they're as tough and out as any team in the NBA when they're doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now it's that he's hoping a sense of urgency. Look, they let one get away. There's no doubt about that. They should have beat the Bulls. They didn't. They come back and beat the Lakers. So he talked about the importance of every game the rest of the way.
Well, every game for us is a must win. It's a not necessarily a playoff game because the preparation isn't quite to the level of what it would be going into the playoffs, but our level of focus to the details has to be there because we're fighting for our playoff position right now. And we've talked about it before. One loss can move you from 7th to 9th, just like a win can move you from 7th to 6th or maybe even 5th, depending on who you are. So for us tonight, tomorrow night, they're all big time games for us, no matter who's in front of us.
Got to keep churning. Those standings change on a nightly basis, and they could be on the good side of that when they play and also get some help too.
Yep. And also, continue trying to, perpetuate one stereotype, which is they're good on the road and they're good after tough losses. And also trying to get rid of the other, which is first game back home and in games that are heavily favored, not performing well. For example, Jason, the Kings are 20-13 against the spread in road games. 20-13, they're 5-5 at home in their last 10 against the spread. And again, that's not me so much looking at it. Who cares about the betting? But I do think it's an interesting insight as to how they perform when favored and how they perform when dogs. And so far, it seems like when they're underdogs or when they're not expected to win, they're more likely to show up than the other way around. Yeah,
and again, you like that element, but then it just makes you question what's happening in the other days. And that's why we've talked about, sports psychologists being soft mentally, questioning that stuff, which is the really only other way to think about it, because we've seen them when they're good, and it does happen. And it's happened more times than not, but the not is, I don't know any other way to explain it, Dave. It just doesn't feel the same as teams coming in and beating them as much as the Kings giving games away. And that's where it's frustrating.
We will take a break. When we come back, we'll preview the Kings and Spurs. Jason, am I right? Do we still, I believe we still have, Trey Lyles? Am I missing somebody else post-game?
Yeah, we have him. We have plenty of other stuff we would like to get to as well if we need to.
Okay, Kings Spurs. We'll get some more post-game from last night. We'll do all that before we get to what to watch and crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. All of that right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
I'm trying to figure out off our chat here. Jess is one of our favorite chatters.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Is it today or is this birthday eve?
No, it's today.
That is today. I thought I saw birthday eve somewhere, and then it seems like everybody else is saying happy birthday today. So happy birthday to Jess, who's not only one of our great listeners here just about every day and participants, but also very active on chat as well. And she was nice enough to check in with me when I was down with COVID last week. I super appreciated that. Nice. So happy birthday, Jess. 21 years old, I assume. So big night for you. Maybe she's going to the Edgar Allan Poe thing. Who knows? But we always appreciate that. And we never do birthday shout outs, so don't ask.
Just Jess.
Just Jess. All right. Kings first tonight. No Victor Wembanyama. Now, we joke about how another unsuccessful team is missing a superstar, and but I will say this. That kind of stinks. I mean, it doesn't kind of. It does stink for a good number of fans. I'm not immune to that. Like, there's some kids going tonight that, and adults that bought their Spurs tickets and, you know, get a chance to see Victor Wembanyama in his rookie year. It's never a good thing when that happens, and you know now it kind of took away a big reason why you're going, but it gives you a much bigger reason to boo the hell out of him.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was here just a couple weeks ago, and it was a good game right out of the All-Star break. Kings had to really fight to win, but just watching him was a marvel to watch in person. So yeah, it's unfortunate that he was unavailable. I think it's an ankle injury. He's missed 6 games this year, so he's been pretty durable, but yeah, I'd rather see him in person. I'd rather see him play.
Absolutely. I think they can beat this team at full strength, and it's also, you know, watching Sabonis go at it with Wembanyama would be a blast, but that is not what's going to happen. So you'll have the Spurs tonight, as you mentioned. John Collins probably popping into that starting lineup as well, and
Collins
or Zach Collins. Yeah, Collins, Christ.
John Collins is fighting coaches.
Yes, he is. Wrong Collins.
Yeah.
Tom Collins.
Joan.
And
Doug.
All right. Joan for sure.
Yeah.
100%. So let's put that aside. Doug, yeah, I would say. Vodka? Or Tom Collins? I mean, do we throw the drink in there?
Former baseball player and manager Terry Collins.
Hey, was Terry Collins the manager for the Mets? Wasn't it Terry Collins where the guy was like, hey, Terry, we're going to be in the jackpot if we don't do that? The mic'd up thing with the umpire?
Oh, yeah. It might have. Yeah, that might have been him in the jackpot. Yeah.
All right.
Chris Worth.
Chris Worth. Well, hold on. Isn't there a Chris Collins?
Worth.
No?
Oh, yeah. Doug's son.
Doug's son.
He's a coach of Northwestern, I believe.
Oh, who's the guy?
Chris said a good one, Bootsy.
Oh, I was just that's okay. I didn't hear that. That's guys. Oh my God! Don't look anything up.
I'm not. Who are we missing?
We're missing the best one. Like literally number one. Don't look at anything.
The best Collins
literally beats Joan. I mean,
hello.
You know what I mean? is a bigger Collins than Joan, and don't look it up. And don't look online because you Jason. Look, I didn't.
Am I gonna kick myself for this?
You are gonna kick yourself as I am kicking yourself.
Sports or acting?
Well, definitely not sports. Actually, has acted, but that's not what he's known for. All right, 10 questions. Jason Ross, you're on the spot. Let's go.
Okay, so is this a comedian?
No.
Are they over 40?
Yes.
The acting, was it in movies?
No, I don't believe so. No. And he's not known as I'll help on this. Not known as an actor, definitely acted at least a couple times in a TV show.
So they're famous.
Very.
Very?
Very famous. Somebody you know their work quite well.
Wow.
I think we're at 4.
I know their work. Oh my gosh. I'm feeling like I'm flaming out here.
That's what makes it fun.
Is this person famous for being a political figure?
No. Nope. You've covered just about every one.
Yeah. Well, is this person over 50?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Here's the best part. I can give you a 100% you're going to get it clue without using any words. And we're not even in front of each other.
Okay.
I can do it with sound effects.
Oh man, okay. Go ahead.
You ready?
Yep.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I'm so mad at myself.
I looked it up, so I'm trying to let you off the hook. That's
no,
where
don't.
I saw it.
I'm actually really mad. I'm giving myself the 2-hand wave. What is wrong with me?
Oh no, the self 2-hand? Wow. Yes, Michael Collins, the astronaut. Can't believe you didn't get that. You okay, buddy?
No. I can't believe that. Honestly.
This is the second time I've seen Jason genuinely upset today.
What was the one?
What was the first
It's
one?
off air.
I don't even remember what that was.
I want to know what it was now.
Yeah, I do too. Not as upset as this.
Yeah, I honestly, I was a little like that's just one of those times where you have like the worst possible brain freeze.
That would have been a classic. Like I would have been on a game show. It's the final thing. I'm winning. All I have to do is answer this question. He's one of my favorite artists of all, and it would have been like, just fizzle out and lose.
Was that your mouthful of peanut butter Aaron Burr moment?
Yes. Well, no, because they knew the answer. I didn't even know the answer. I didn't even sense it at all.
No, you did. I thought you'd at least feel it in the air at some point.
The second you did the drum, like that is so funny. Your clue was perfect.
I
you
knew,
were right.
Yeah,
as soon as you, and it's like the wheels turn. I'm like, oh my God. I was more embarrassed than anything. That's awful.
You know what though? You can walk it off.
No, I can't.
You can't. Nobody's gonna sue.
I'm not recovering from this one.
And by the way,
Dave, take me home.
You got the clue. Like he did act in I know he was in at least a couple episodes of Miami Vice.
Yeah, and technically we could debate. Like I think that's acting on those videos that they make. But yeah,
sure. I didn't want to. I love how we're doing the post game. I didn't want to throw you though. Like he's obviously not known as an actor.
No.
And as we move on, I think I've asked you this before, but honestly, favorite Phil Collins song?
Man, and there's a lot. Oh my gosh, I need a timeout.
Okay, all right.
I want to challenge my own decision making. Probably might even be stuff they had with Genesis too. I'm trying to think.
I'll just get mine is Separate Lives. It's kind of random, but God, I
you like
love
the soft ballads.
Oh, I love that duet.
Yeah.
You build that wall.
Okay, now wait a minute. I don't know who that's with. As soon as you say it, I'll know. But it's not a frontline female singer.
Oh no! It was like, and it wasn't like Laura Branigan or anything. No. But it was kind of it was oh God, Marilyn
McCoo.
No, Marilyn Martin.
Nice.
Who? Yeah, but like. Come on. Like, I mean, no offense to Marilyn Martin, who I don't know if she's still with us or not, but no offense to her, but I don't think anyone was going to see Marilyn Martin in concert, but I'm pretty sure she is still with us. Hey, you know how old she is, Jason?
78.
Close, 69.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, she was, she toured with Phil on a couple of those too. Imagine just chilling at a Phil Collins concert and all of a sudden Marilyn Martin comes out and they bust out a little Separate Lives.
Yeah. Invisible Touch maybe for me. Studio.
Yeah.
To lose that number. In the Air Tonight. There's a lot of good ones.
There are a lot of good
Dave,
ones.
you made me mad.
Yeah, this entire segment has thrown Jason, and I know we're late. So anyways, Kings in San Antonio tonight. Hey, Jason, just a little inside baseball, looking at the rundown. You filled out like a full segment on this, and I just want to congratulate you because we spent the entire time talking about Phil Collins.
And as I look down at the paperwork here, I also realize in the question you asked today for random Spurs that'll go off, I picked Zach Collins. Couldn't even think of him.
Well, we're gonna give you hit the executive
another
washroom.
day in paradise.
Just another day in paradise. Well, take a break. When we come, hey, why wasn't Phil Collins in We Are the World? By the way, is that? No, I'm thinking like wouldn't he have fit there, or was that all Americans? I'm trying to think, weren't there like British people in We Are the World? I'm blanking right now.
You watched the documentary.
I'll think about it during the break. I'll consult Jane Fonda. We'll come back with what to watch tonight, then crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. All coming up right here on your home of Phil Collins, Sacktown Sports.
The Spurs visit Golden One Center tonight to face the Kings.
Gives it up to Fox, gets into the paint, reaches with the left hand, scores at the buzzer. What a finish for the Sacramento Kings.
Kings and Spurs tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday. We're out the door to a cooler start this morning. Grab that thick jacket as we head through the afternoon. We're getting into mostly sunny skies, a light north wind with afternoon highs mid to upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia during their spring event and save big on your favorite models. You can even buy with zero down on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 4/6. Visit staples.com/print for details.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know? Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Dun, dun, dun. There's a name that he can't remember. None of the time.
Phil Collins.
Jason Ross. Either one works, but wait. Oh. Great work, Chris.
I'm not familiar with this song. Is it one of his hits? Whoever he is? The one that beats Joan Collins?
You sound insane right now.
You won't get this kind of stuff at the Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy.
Good luck laughing this hard at the speakeasy, Chris. Oh. Is that Eric Carmen? No, it's Phil Collins. Oh, remember Eric Carmen, Jason?
I do, believe it or not.
Turn the radio up for that sweet sound. He had another one. Hungry Eyes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd go see Eric Carmen and Steve Winwood.
Oh, I definitely see Steve Winwood. Bangers.
Total bang, dude.
Back in the high life again.
Thank you. My favorite song by Steve Winwood. Also, I'd cut a rug to Valerie.
Valerie is great.
Yes.
I think there's another one or two that were really good.
Steve Winwood is Back in the High Life, which was just a great album in itself. There is Valerie.
Roll with it.
Oh, roll with it, baby.
And Higher Love.
How could we? Yeah. See, now I just Jason Ross all over myself.
Wow.
How could I forget that?
That is a drop.
That is a drop. Welcome back. All right. That is fun, but we're moving on. We're going to try to do our jobs here with a little bit of what to watch tonight. The Western Conference Top 10 in action. Spurs Kings tonight, and that is at the Guanxi right here on Sacktown Sports, 7 p.m. tip-off. The Carl Anthony Townless Timberwolves will visit old friend Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. You've got the Heat rolling into Dallas. Dallas having some struggles lately. They're hosting that one. Raptors at Suns. Toronto is tankeroni and cheese right now, it seems.
Could use some help there, but I don't know if we'll get it.
Our nemesis, the Chicago Bulls, have been hanging out in the Bay Area for a few days. They will take on the Warriors.
Okay.
And game of the night, Celtics at Nuggets. This time, Jason, it's for real.
Finals preview?
I would say if you told me you've got to predict the NBA Finals matchup right now, and you gunned ahead, yeah, that's exactly who I'd have in it.
Let's see. Of those games you mentioned, what about T-Wolves Pacers? Finals preview?
No.
Heat Mavericks?
I never count out the Heat, but I really think that no way for the Mavs. But I really think this is the Celtics year.
Bulls Warriors? Bulls are a playing team.
Bulls are a playing team. They could make some noise. I think if the Bulls won it all this year, they'd be the craziest champion since Chauncey Billups' Pistons team.
I agree. And crazier.
Would
we feel a bit responsible for getting them going?
If we didn't and the Bulls won the title, I'd feel a little better about the other night.
Retroactively, like in June, as they're hoisting up a championship, you're like, yeah, that night in March, well, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah. And you know what? I'd say at some point we'll be back in the high life again.
Exactly.
So that's what to watch tonight. The Spurs, if I'm reading this right, Jason, 0-6 without Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, so in these games, 6 of them, it's like, who did they play, though? 3 of them they played against, I would say, bad teams below 500. They lost those games very close by 5 points. But the other 3 of those 6, they played teams above 500, like the Kings, and they lost by an average of 17 points per game. And so, I don't know that I'm going to look at it offensively tonight, what the Spurs are going to miss with Wembanyama. It's the defensive part, the shot changing, those kind of things is where I think they'll feel the impact.
Well, in those first 2 matchups, the Kings won 129-120. Fox had 43, Sabonis 27-14, and 7 Monk 20. The second matchup, a lot closer. In fact, I mean, let's be honest, a couple of close matchups.
Yeah.
127, 122, 28 for Fox, triple-double for Sabonis. Herder and Monk both had 21, and Devin Vassell, Florida State's Devin Vassell, had 32 points.
Yeah.
So,
and if I remember right, obviously that game wasn't that long ago. I believe, I'm going to look this up really quickly here. So it was just a couple of weeks ago, in fact, when the Kings came back, because Dave, I remember Vassell hit kind of, I thought, like a really questionable lean-in three that put them up. I just want to, 120 to 116 with 2:10 to go. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be a terrible loss. And then the Kings outscored them, 11-2 to finish the game.
well, as always, we like to play this game, 1-800-GAMBLER. This is just for fun and excitement, but we'll play Guess the Line tonight. We always play by the honor system. Yep. I assume neither of you have looked or have any idea what the line is.
No,
I don't even know where to find these props.
I was on philcollins.com the entire break.
Oh, too soon. Chris, we'll start with you for a change here. The Kings Spurs tonight, Golden One Center, who is favored, and how much are they favored by?
Kings are favored by 8.5.
Oh, is that where you were going?
That was in my head. I'm going 8.5. So I got to go above or below, or stay, I guess.
Yeah, you could.
I've been so good at my guessing today.
Yes.
Let's see. I think, well, they know Wembanyama's. I'm going to go one higher than 9.5.
9.5. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something fun here. Jason, I'll say you were the closest. But I will say this. Of all the games being played in the NBA today, the Sacramento Kings are the biggest favorite.
Wow. So it's
you want to redo your guesses, starting with you, Jason?
Well, if it's not 9.5 and I was the close, I don't know, 12.5?
13.5.
The Sacramento Kings are favored by 11.5 points tonight versus the. I like how you guys just skipped right over there.
Well, I knew I had to go up more. I went too far. Okay. Wow.
11.5 tonight.
How do you feel about that, Dave?
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I hate it. 11.5. This game's in the bag. I don't even have to worry about watching it. I'm going to be seeing the beam as I walk out of the Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy.
Honest to God, it is. If you've ever read The Telltale Heart, it is very much similar to how Sacramento Kings fans feel when the Kings have a big lead and are getting preemptively upset at the inevitable comeback by the other team. So at some point, the Kings are probably going to have like an 18-point lead tonight in the third quarter, and you're going to hear the dunk, 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 dunk of knowing that at some point the Spurs are going to go on some dumb, stupid run.
And if it's like 6-0, Brown calls a timeout, the whole arena will be like, oh no. It's still a 12-point lead, but they'll be nervous.
One more for you before we break and get to crosstalk, just because this is the featured game of the night. It's on TNT. Boston facing the Denver Nuggets in Denver. Gentlemen, who is favored and by how much?
This one's a tough one.
It is.
Denver should get some points because they're at home. Boston would be the better team. I don't know that it's a pick 'em. They want to put up. I'm going to say Boston 1.5.
I'm going to say Boston 3.5.
Well, you know what? After a long and distinguished radio career, it might have been his most embarrassing moment with Phil Collins earlier, but he redeems himself by being right on the mark. Boston favored by 1.5 in Denver.
It was like I was thinking about it, and Phil Collins showed me a sign.
We'll take a break. When we come back, guys, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to cross-talk with Styles and Watkins. Okay. And then let's do celebrity birthdays. And I got a sponsor, our good friends over at Crumble Cookies. So we'll wrap up the show. We'll do all that in just a couple minutes right here on Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
Get a handoff to McCaffrey. Walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey. Takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Record-breaking global sensation, Chris Brown. The 11-11 Tour. Chris Brown, live in Sacramento. Golden One Center, July 30th. With special guest, Monty Long. Get tickets this Monday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. The brand new album, 1111, is available everywhere. For more, visit ChrisBrownWorld.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com, or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New year, new you, New Nordic.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found ya.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford, right here in Sacramento. You can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Come on. Yeah.
A little bit louder now.
Let's go. Back in the Stu studio. Stealing that off the chat. It's Styles and Watkins. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Great.
Terrific.
Are you?
Fantastic.
Chris, would you go to a Edgar Allan Poe themed speakeasy? No.
He didn't even get to that.
No.
I would.
That's where Chris is going tonight, Alan.
Well, I mean, I just like speakeasies. The Edgar Allan Poe thing. Great middle name, by the way.
It's not really a speakeasy.
Oh, well,
that's
then
what
I'm
we're talking about it right now. So
yeah, I'm out.
Define speakeasy, guys. What is a speakeasy?
It's trendy, is what it is.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's awesome. You know,
it's
I like
a
the
bar
ones
where you pay more than what you should because you need a password to get in.
You need a password. I went to one in Vegas a couple years ago. It just looked like a wall. Yeah. And then you push the door, or you go in and it's a barber shop. Yeah. And then you go the other way, and it goes into. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's like an escape room in a sense.
That's right.
It
we should do an escape room.
Vibes.
We should have a speakeasy. Yeah, escape rooms
we
are
should have a
lame.
speakeasy. Somebody in this building has a speakeasy.
We might.
Oh yeah, there's definitely something happening in the walls.
I was watching the news this weekend, and they were talking about the underground Sacramento Museum. I'd really like to go.
We have an underground museum?
Yes, you do.
I didn't know that. Well, all right. Hey, learn something every day like this. This is off of LinkedIn. For the last 2 months, Jack has not paid for a single meal in New York City. How is that possible? Free hotel meals. New York has 3,600 hotels, and many of those offer complimentary breakfasts. By walking in and acting like you're supposed to be there, you can simply grab bacon, eggs, and toast at any Hilton or Marriott in the city. Now, going beyond the idea that if you do that, if you constantly are going to different hotels and stealing breakfast, does that make you a serial offender?
Yeah, we got it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have you ever stolen breakfast?
You know, I just got to be honest here. When I see these stories and hear these stories, or I stuck into the Super Bowl, I'm not going to say why, but I just feel like I can't get away with that stuff.
Like they know it.
There's a certain look of people that have these stories, and they don't look like me. So, no, I haven't, because it would not happen. Hey, sir, can I see your card?
I snuck into the Republic Championship game.
I should try this. We'll see what happens.
You did?
Yeah. I accidentally gave all my tickets away.
You accidentally gave all your tickets away?
Yeah.
Did you trip on something? Oops.
No, it was like, because you know how you could buy like multiple tickets for the finals?
Yeah.
I want to do that, and I want, because like people started like selling them for a profit. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sell them for face value so people that want to go can go to the game. So I sold them to everybody, and I went to my last friend. I'm like, here are your 2 tickets. And then as I gave it to him, I realized, oh, I don't have a ticket.
And how did you do it? You just walked in?
I walked in through like Cal Expo. There was like a gate open, and just walked in. And as like the supporters were coming in, I kind of just acted like I was part of everybody and just walked in.
Well done.
You Trojan horsed your way into the Tower Bridge Battalion. Wow. All right. Wow. Noted crime producer, Christopher Laud.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're past the limits of statute of limitations.
I would hope so.
Is it a crime to steal breakfast? Like at the Hilton?
Yeah, I think it's probably petty theft. I know on the RV trip we ran out of money on the way back, so we would just find the nearest embassy suites every morning, and we'd go in there and just eat breakfast and then leave. And, you know, is that okay? Probably not. Did I feel bad? No, I did not.
You can't feel bad.
Yeah.
Wow. Today is National Flapjack Day. I've never understood the difference between a flapjack and a pancake, other than I think that's just what people say, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Flapjack's dumb. It's National Pancake Day. Yeah, we're all pancake fans. I think we've gone over that. I think we did waffle versus pancake a couple weeks ago, did we not?
Yes.
Quite a battle.
Yeah. Today
Orphan
is
Breakfast House in Sacramento. Best pancakes in town.
Really?
Yes.
Where?
Orphan Breakfast House.
Okay.
Incredible.
Oh, that place is legit.
Incredible.
Well, let me ask you this, though, Chris. Have you eaten pancakes at every restaurant in town?
No, but I do know that Orphan has the best pancakes in town.
Wow. Okay.
I know it for a fact. 100% fact.
I believe him.
You also might catch a stray king there every so often.
Oh, wow.
I've seen Kevin Herter there. Metu's been there. Davion's been there a couple times.
Why do I feel like a stray king is like one that's not under contract?
My girlfriend used to work there.
Okay.
Yes.
Just some random king who does
great people over there.
Looking for a free
Love
agency.
everyone.
looking for random king looking for free agency, a little hungry.
And flapjacks.
Free breakfast.
Today is National Crown Roast of Pork Day. You know, the one where like the bones are in a circle and there's like little marshmallows on the tip of the bones.
No, I'm not familiar.
You don't know what I'm. No, come on. If you look up Crown, you'd know it. It's like on in every Disney movie when they have some sort of holiday feast. The Crown Roast of Pork is like right in the middle next to the giant turkey. No,
I see that. Yes. Very cartoonish.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen that in real life.
I mean, I've sat next to you here, Dave, and seen you skip over a lot of national days, but this one had to make the airwaves, huh?
Well, usually when I skip over the national days, dude, there's a reason. I skip over national days every day. Like
he's burned before.
Yes.
Very much so. Like I'm just rolling through and I go, it's National Flapjack Day, National Cereal Day. Oh, it's National AIDS Awareness Day. I can't do anything with that.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Golly. Finally, National Peanut Cluster Day. Anyone into peanut clusters?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chris, who has the best peanut cluster in Sacramento?
He knows.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm guessing C's Candy.
You're probably right.
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking of clusters, birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends. And nothing says family and friend more than crumble cookies. Crumble cookies. Don't ever skip over those. Jason Ross, you failed a little bit earlier. You've recovered. Let's bring it home with celebrity birthdays.
I do have to say one more time, happy birthday to one of ours, Jess, right? Happy birthday.
Yeah.
We have confirmation, but happy birthday,
That's
Jess.
right.
Faithful to the station.
Shout out March.
We're going
26.
with 21. Yeah, sure. Correct.
Correct.
Let's go with happy birthday to Wanda Sykes.
That is interesting.
60?
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to say 57.
I'm going to say 64.
62.
Correct answer is 60. Carmichael Dave.
Yeah.
Right on the nose.
Sykes.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Boitano.
Galabrini.
Danielson.
Gebhardt.
Wilson.
Brian Cranston.
Oh.
Breaking Bad.
Someone cooked here.
Hey, has anyone seen the videos rolling around of this old lady who bought the Breaking Bad home, and then anyone who goes to take a selfie there, she screams at him?
But yeah,
Super...
like gates around it.
Yes. Brian Cranston, one of today's best actors, I'd say. He is 61.
62.
Say 63.
58.
Chris Watkins, the closest, 68.
What?
I was surprised by that one.
Is it the same Brian Cranston?
Maybe not.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a different
birthday from The Office, Jenna Fisher.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Big Karen guy, huh?
Yeah, her character just was such an ass on that show.
Her and Jim were bad people.
They were bad people. I fully subscribe to that. Jim was at least kind of tolerable, but she sucked. Give me Angela.
Angela.
42.
44.
Yeah. 45.
I'm also going to say 45.
Okay.
That's how old she is.
Closest is the 45 guess. Jenna Fisher's 50.
No.
Wow.
I may be putting different people's ages in there. Happy birthday to Joe.
Rogan.
Joe Carter.
Rhodes.
I still think hit the most underrated home run in baseball history.
You're right.
Walk off a World Series because it was in Toronto. Nobody seemed to care.
That's right.
Well, it was Canadian. Everyone's nice.
What was the exchange rate? Maybe it was just a triple.
Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan. Joe Carter is 54.
Yeah, that's good.
56.
58. Chris Law, the closest, 64. We weren't great today, guys.
Wow.
Respect.
How about Jeff Kent?
Kent. I see you, Kent. It is Jesus.
Is he 53?
Is he?
Yes, I'll say 51.
I'll say 54.
Chris Law?
He is 59.
56 for Jeff.
Yes.
Wow.
So
you.
So
I won, right?
As a fellow Giants fan, Alan, and I am wearing my Giant shirt today, I would imagine you, like me, have fond memories of those power shots that Jeff Kent would hit constantly when he came over from the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now you can join Jeep in the Dodge Power Shot days during Ram Truck Month right now, where you can save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger